Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Codes of the Unknown, the 12th dimension. I'm Andy.
And itty bitty kitty witch that can't speak.
Then we have
Umbra.
Yes, I'm Umbra.
Then we have
Ellie.
Ellie. Then we have
Fuzzy Wolf.
You can talk, you know.
I can't.
And me. And Deb.
Then we have
Sprinkles the clowning.
Sprinkles Deb. Oh, so good evening, everyone. I can't see because of these contacts, so I'm going to do very little typing.
Sorry, everyone.
So, going to start off with an incident that happened with me and my other half, who sat just off camera, last Saturday. So, you know, for all that watch the live investigations, me and Ellie went to St. John the Baptist Church ruins about 3 weeks ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And I did it on TikTok, and we had a horrible feeling. We both felt sick. You was off work for a couple of days afterwards. You was being sick. So me and Becky, last Saturday, we thought we'd just have a walk around and do a quick 15-minute TikTok video and just see if we pick anything up. So we parked at the top. Weather wasn't too bad. It was dry. It had been raining. So we walked in. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to put some pictures up. Why? One of them's vanished. That's strange. So you go into. So this is the top bit, and these three are the church ruins. So you walk down the path on the right-hand side, and you can walk in round to the left, and then it drops down. So where it drops down, this is looking at it from the other side. The tree on the right, and you walk along the bottom, and off-screen to the right is a wall, and just behind that is a little stream. So as we got in there, I was saying that there's sightings of a woman with red hair that whistles and sings.
Yeah.
And there's a black dog. And as I said black dog, I seen something moving car in my left eye, and a black dog ran past. So Becky was about, how far away was you? About 5 foot away. And she goes, oh, he's with a bloke.
No, I didn't see the dog.
No, you didn't see the dog.
No, you said about the dog, and I went, where? And you said it's there.
It's over there near that wall.
And then I said, oh, there's the bloke. That must be its owner. As it walked down the bottom, but you didn't see that.
So
did you?
Becky didn't see the dog. I didn't see the owner. So I walked round because for some reason I just wanted to know what the owner looked like. So I walked round the bottom. So this bit, so where the tree is on the right.
But before that, Andy, we were further up.
Yeah. So we was at the top here, and we walked around the top. But as we got to the bricks in front of the ruined wall on the right.
No, on the left.
Yeah. No, it's on the right.
It's on the right.
Yeah. So
Is that left one now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So then this bit, this is the other side.
Yeah.
So we walk down this side, and where that tree is, then along the front of the church is where that bloke should have been walking. As I got there, couldn't see the dog, couldn't see the bloke. So I'm just filming and looking at the river and explaining to the viewers what's what.
Before that, we were together. And
Yeah, we've said that.
No, you didn't say that.
I've not got.
Sorry, guys. You need to
I'm gonna.
You weren't. We were together, and we were looking at. You were filming and showing everybody everything, and then we were walking back together.
Yeah, so we was cutting through this bit.
Yes.
So
and then you disappeared.
No, so we walked down to that left-hand side, to the far left of that picture. Yeah, which is now the right-hand side of this picture.
Yeah. Right.
So I walked down there. Becky stayed at the top. So I'm walking around the bottom bit, and then.
But I thought you were following me.
No.
Into the ruins.
So I'm just going to upload another picture. It did upload before, but it's come off. So I was talking about this well at the bottom. So you could climb, 2 adults could climb inside that and not be seen. That's like a water outlet for the actual, when the church was working. So I'm stood around that bit, just like giving a bit of information. And then Becky couldn't see me. So she started panicking a bit.
because I thought you were following me, and then you weren't there, so I shouted you, and I went to that window there.
So the mid that
No,
one,
no.
that
That
one.
one,
So she went to
which is where I'd gone in.
these windows here.
No, they were around.
No, that is one window there, one window there, one window
I
there.
went to them and shouted you, and I went to each of the windows and shouted you, and there was nothing. You didn't.
So she went to each of them windows. I was stood. So that window there, the big one, the big arch one, is this window. So I was stood at where this well thing is, which isn't even 20 foot away. I couldn't hear Becky shouting me.
And I couldn't see.
And she's looking through each of these windows and couldn't see me. And it wasn't no traffic. 2 cars went past in the whole time we were there. And so I walked up the left-hand side of the building, and where that building ends, where you can see the tree in the background, that's where we met up.
But I'd come out of there once before as well and was shouting you. And then I started to panic because I thought you're going to pull a prank on me and jump out. Anyone who knows me, I'm the jumpiest person ever. And I was ready for killing him.
Yeah.
And then it started raining, didn't it? Really heavy.
Then it's just threw it down out of nowhere.
If that was before we met.
Yeah, it just started raining, so I started walking back, and that's when I seen Becky. But we couldn't hear each other, we couldn't see each other, and we was only there 15 minutes.
The first thing I said to you was, "Where the bloody hell have you been?"
Yeah. So
spooky.
Well, and anyway,
and
I don't believe
the bloke with the dog
was
nowhere to be seen. There's only that one gate in and out, and it's a narrow gate, and it makes a really loud squeaking noise as you go through it.
One of us would have seen,
we would have seen or heard nothing. Didn't. So I don't know. Was that the black dog that was there? Did Becky see a bloke an entity type spirit or something that resides there?
Well, he had the dog throwing balls, so I don't think he was.
Yeah, but you didn't see the dog.
I think he was just stealth-like.
Ninja? Oh, I can't say ninja. My teeth will fall out.
So,
I have to avoid certain words now.
Yeah, make of that what you will.
Yeah, that's creepy.
So we are going to be going back in daylight.
We're not.
No, me and Ellie will go.
Yeah,
I'll leave you here.
You can do it, Ellie.
Me, you, and your paps will go, I think.
Yeah.
And find out what's going on. It's just really, really weird. It's like it's about 2:30, 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
And there's that little car park at the top.
At night time, do they?
It was just very strange how he was there, and then we couldn't hear and see each other.
That was the thing that was the freakiest, that I was shouting, and I'm not the quietest of people. So there's no way Andy would not have heard me at any point that he was standing in them ruins. He would not. There was no way you wouldn't have been able to hear me.
No, even with selective hearing, I'd have still heard her. Trust me.
It wasn't even what you could say.
But because it drops down and the road is closed off from it, even with traffic, even if there was traffic, you can't get trucks or anything past. It's like non-suitable for HGV.
Yeah.
Cars and caravans, vans, that's about it. You're not going to get any big vehicles going through there.
I tested it with Olivia. I got Olivia walking back from the shop earlier to walk miles away from me.
Yeah.
And there was on that road out there, Andy, out the back.
Yeah.
And it's a busy road, yeah. And I shouted her and she shouted back and we could hear each other. So and we stood quite a way away from each other. There's no way you couldn't have heard me.
No.
Yep. And there's
no way you couldn't.
I'd say 20, 25 foot at the most. Yeah, me and Rick are gonna, Sue's husband, we're gonna set up a base under that big tree at the back wall one night. Well, you're laughing at. You're coming with us.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Andy.
Yeah, I needed it. Sorry?
Andy, was it a church, a priory, or an abbey?
It's a consecrated church. So even though the church, I know you know what I mean, looks like that, they still use it for burials. Yeah. We seen a burial there that was from late last year, so not even 12 months ago. So it is still used for that. It says it's CCTV and security, but when we've never seen anything.
My
And
interest is the land. If we've put a church on it or a priory or an abbey, it was important to us way back in the day. So there might be something about the energy of that area that we could look into. Maybe.
I reckon there is, because like I said, at the back, there's like it's just open. I suppose it's common land. It's not farmers' fields. It's difficult to get in, but you can get in. Then at the bottom, so if you're looking at where I said this was into that well, probably 10, 15 foot behind me, it drops down. You got a row of trees and you got a dry stone wall. Then
Right.
it's about 4, 5 foot drop, and then you've got like a little stream. You can get over into it. You'd need ladders or sticks or something to climb over, but all that land is just like rough land. I
There is
suppose
also
wilderness.
there's also a castle, a small castle in
The castle house on
area.
the opposite
Yeah.
side.
Which tells me it
Yeah.
was important for some reason. So we could have a look back in history and see what kind of paranormal or supernatural events had taken place. See if there's any like
It is, it is supposed.
smell.
Yeah, it is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Northampton.
Right.
So,
It could be like you say, it
and
could
we've
very well
been
be the land,
what
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Especially with the being like, I'm sure it's like an underground. That stream goes underground.
That's interesting.
So
If
that's
it's a
it.
well
So,
opening,
anyone,
there's
any
water.
ideas?
Deb, it could be
Take a-
like it could be on the megalithic portal. It could be marked as a natural spring. What would have been called a holy well?
Yeah.
Which
that's what I
amplifies
was thinking. Something like that.
Yeah, and there's normally this kind of a ditch after the church. There would be you'd go down and there would be a bit of a ditch. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's a very
Yeah.
ancient burial you've got there. Then, yeah. If we're looking at kind of a mound with a ditch, that's normally a very ancient burial. So it's somebody that the Picts or the pagans back in the days, the Celts would have worshipped. So a very important person for it, probably.
Spooky.
Yeah. But it's not too far from where you live, is it, Ellie? It's literally same village.
Yeah, about 5-10 minutes away.
Oh, brilliant.
It's probably in a straight line. It's probably not even a mile. So, but I think we do need to do an overnight there. Get there at 10 o'clock. Stay till about 6 o'clock.
Definitely.
Now.
Just don't have a choice. Looks like you've been roped in, Elle.
No, we have talked about doing overnight there, haven't we? So
yeah.
So we'll keep you all updated on that anyway. But I just wanted to let you know that because it was just Becky is very skeptic to anything because she's never witnessed or experienced anything out of the ordinary. But a couple of things have happened when we've been out and about, but nothing major. But this was like with that red ball and things like that.
That one with Ellie was weird. When we went to Kingsthorpe Village Church, and me and you had gone, and Ellie had told her story, and we didn't see nothing. And then when Ellie came with us with her pap and everything, no, don't do that. When Ellie came with us, the headstone in by the tree that actually read John Old, and before we couldn't even make that out. Do you remember, Ellie?
Yeah, it was all like
and
really
then
clear.
when Ellie got a feeling towards that headstone, and then I got her nan who was halfway round the other side, hadn't even nowhere near Ellie, and she said, "What is that? The one where they died on Christmas Day?" Do you remember, Elle? And I was like, "Don't know."
I mean, you walked over,
and you were getting a feeling, and it wasn't like on the path; it was set back, and I went, "Oh, sugar, yes, it is." And then that one where, because you said about the school, there was a school there or something.
And the schoolmaster.
And then it had
like
somebody
nearby.
the head, whatever what do they call them?
Schoolmaster.
Was it schoolmaster? No, wasn't it a head?
Schoolmaster.
Was it?
Yeah, it's different. 1800. Yeah, it says
well,
no.
And that wasn't there at all, and it was looked like it was freshly carved, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked like a brand new headstone.
But when me and you had gone on our own, you couldn't read any of those headstones.
No. Yeah, very, very strange goings on in Northampton. Put it that way.
Is that the church ruins where you went over to that wall and the sky was like you could have done a night watch?
No, that was the one in Aspley Guys in Bedfordshire.
The ruins.
Because
We need to go back.
Really good.
The ruins was the one with the rabbit,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
we moved on and we got Bench Guy.
Yeah, that's it.
So, and just for the record, I wouldn't like to be a vampire because of the have lists. Don't know if you've noticed.
I've got a list.
This is not easy.
Struggling
I
so
can't
much.
see. I'm completely flying blind. Mate, my glasses are normally there.
I can't see shit.
Thank you. No, thank you for
Yes,
that.
Becky.
I'd be interested. Blue Shift's just asked in the chat, and I'd be interested to find. I do think it's been more than a priory or a church. I think before that building that's on there,
Yeah,
I think it's been a much more earlier
something else.
worship. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And to me, it's probably connected to the earth energy, and that's why you can feel it. It feels different
Yeah.
at different times when you go. And with you saying
Mm,
Ellie lives
yeah.
here, I would suggest, if not Ellie doesn't mind, going at different times of the day, different days of the week,
Yeah.
when it's raining, when it's cold, and just see if it feels different, and just make a little
Yeah.
jot, and because you never know, it might just give us a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
not a
what
bad
I
idea.
always. Whenever I go, I always take photos of little videos of something. But when I've been in at night before Ali joined us, I'd always get like a popping in my right ear. Do you know, like when you get water in it and it's
Yeah.
popping out?
Mm.
I used to get that a lot, and like not so much a tapping, but like a sensation on the same shoulder.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Only happened about I think happened a few times, but 2 different times that I went. If that makes sense. Huh?
No, I get what you mean. I'm just interested on the idea of once Ellie gets used to the area, she might find herself tuning in. So she gets more and more comfortable there at different times, different days, different seasons.
Yeah.
The energy gets used to it and she'll tap in to it much easier. Yeah, just do a little bit of protection before you go, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
And when you leave
Yeah.
it, make sure nothing follows you home. You probably know that anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think you're probably the right one because you can get to it so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spooky.
So that's me done. Good night, everyone.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Bye.
I
No, I
had,
just
and I don't mean to hog the chat, but hog the thing
no,
about it.
okay.
It's on the same subject. I had a member called Chris get in touch with me, and he come across a story, and I'll send it across to you, Andy, because it's very similar. Not the same place. Old church. Him and his wife have decided to go and have a brew. 1954. So they took like a flag, and they've gone in the car, and they've gone. They've gone, and it's been lovely. And they said, for all it was the beautiful surroundings, and there was this little bench, and we were under this apple tree. It just felt off all the time. It felt really off kilter. We weren't really happy being there. And this kind of feeling came on them, and it came on them so quick. They actually ended up coming to at the railway station. So they must have passed out in the church and somehow made it to the railway station to go.
Wow.
And they went back. The wife said it bugged her that much. They waited about 5 or 6 months and then they went back.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find the bench or the tree.
Oh.
So they did the re-steps again, went through that, right, we got off here, we walked in there, it just wasn't there. So they went round knocking on doors and there was nothing there. So somebody suggested that they find a local historian.
Right.
And he said the last time there was a bench there would have been in the late 16th century, because that was where the hanging gibbet was. So somehow going into that churchyard, as either they've become the catalyst or the churchyard or whatever it is, they've had an event that's not happened to anybody else around. They must have
like a time slip.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Dimensional memory.
Well, that's what, when we was in there, I kind of thought, is that like what a time slip is, where we couldn't hear or see each other? Was there some sort of crossover for them few minutes?
Or one of you had gone into kind of a void.
Yeah,
a bubble. Oh,
but it didn't feel, nothing felt off. Didn't feel any different energy change and nothing like that. Not like I've done in the past.
Yeah.
It was afterwards when we was talking about it on the way home. That's not even normal. Even that freaked me out a bit. I'm used to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's understandable, isn't it? If you're shouting her and she can't hear you, she's shouting you and you can't hear her.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
I can definitely not hear her voice.
That's creepy.
So yeah,
No, I
it's
didn't
very,
like.
very
You've
strange.
been going a bit though, haven't you? So you're kind of getting tuned into the area. So it should ramp up
Could
for
have
you.
been.
And you're asking for it anyway, aren't you? You're saying that I'm going there, I'm hoping to see something, and just so it's doing what you want. Be careful what you wish for, Andy.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. Well, we have done a few EVPs there, but we've never got anything. I think next time we go, I'm going to do the pendulum or the dowsing rods.
Yeah.
Just try different ways of communicating and see if we come up with anything.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, so just how it goes. I'll keep you all updated and just go from there.
Your dowsing rods are probably going to keep connecting you to well.
Probably. Or if I could take them and try them and just see what connection I do get with them.
Yeah,
We've got a couple of questions in, guys.
we have.
We have. I can see Nathan's and I can see Rick. So do you want me to read them out, Deb?
If you want, love, I've starred them in chat, but yeah.
Right. Nathan says the number one place he would love to investigate would be Ed and Lorraine Warren's house. Where would the panel pick? For me, there's one I would like to go to Lizzie Borden's house.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Lizzie was the killer. I think the killer was in the family, and I'd love to go there and just tune back in.
I agree with that.
And
I think I'd pick Hampton Court Palace. I'd love to stay there overnight.
Yeah, I get that.
Anywhere in the world?
Yeah, anywhere you want, yeah.
I'd be the Stanley Hotel.
Ah, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be cracking, that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Any other takers?
Yeah.
Go on,
I think I'd go Pavalia Island
Oh,
yeah.
in Italy. Love to go to Pavalia.
Yeah.
Make sure you take $1.
Yeah.
I used to watch all the when I was poor and the girls were growing up. We used to watch anything we could that was like that. We must have watched that Doll Island one. Me and our Erica, I don't know how many times. And every time that doll's eye goes, think it still terrifies me.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about you, Umbra?
For me, rather predictably, it will probably be Cannock Chase or Skinwalker Run. But I would also really love to spend one night in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid.
Yes.
It didn't go too well for Napoleon, and he would never speak of it again. But I'd chance one night.
Yeah.
That'd be
That
good.
sounds good. Yeah. That's a good answer. Nobody gives them sort of answers.
Because it's in a pyramid, so that's making more energy, isn't it? That's virtually what it means, yeah.
Has Andy just gone?
Yep, he went poof.
He'll be right.
So,
There is... Right, Rick's asked a question. Does the panel think that all phenomena is natural, or are there other sources? Ooh. Now there's a question.
that's a hard one. Who wants to lead on that?
I don't know.
I'm back.
Hello.
Yeah, computer decided it was shutting down.
Superb. Mine's going to do that at some point.
See, the thing is, Rick, I'll go first. I'm learning, so I'm not 100%. What I used to think happened 2 years ago is not what I think now.
Yeah.
But I haven't got a real handle on it. So I think everything's to do with energy, but I think there are other beings, not of this world, that can manipulate that energy.
Yes.
And
I agree with that.
regard whatever their agenda is, kind of thing. But as I'm forever learning, I find it hard to just say it's definitely this or it's definitely that, because I don't know myself. Yeah. What about you, Andy? What do you think? Do you think it's all natural, or does it have outside influences?
It's
an hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'd say the energy is natural. I think there's different types of energy.
So do I.
Like these different types of entities. I think certain ones pick up on different certain ones pick up certain types of energy, like we was talking about last week. Certain ones grasp the energy or emotions or whatever that they
Yeah.
need, or they suppose
Yeah.
that they rely on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've got for that.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's because we're learning, aren't we? We're all on a learning curve with it.
And I think there's room to change your mind as well if you find something that fits better with what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And
that's where you've got to go in. And then you've got because you've got different kinds of hauntings, haven't you? You've got residual.
Yeah.
As Andy explained it, that's just that it's just playing it over and over and over again. So I think they are just energetic residual traces that we leave. You've got incredibly intelligent hauntings, so that would tell me that they're probably not hauntings. That's some kind of being that you're in contact with. And then that massive spectrum in between, you know, so trying to like pin it all down is really hard. I was talking to Mark yesterday, and I'm just going to ask if anybody else has ever had an experience like this. Has anybody ever had a weird dream that felt so real that nobody could convince you that it wasn't real, whether as a child or an adult? Has anyone ever dreamt that lucidly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I had a dream about 2 years ago, and I dreamt at the time I was going to this like Wednesday club thing, and it was like a well-being type club. And
did you swap videos when you got there?
No.
Just checking.
Anyway, I was going to this place, and in my dream, the woman who ran it was at a supermarket with me, and I said to her, "What's that noise?" And it was like hundreds of planes crashing into the houses opposite.
Right.
And me and her were dragging people out and dragging them into the supermarket to like look after them and tend to the wounds and stuff. But it was so, I was crouching down. It was so loud and it was so real. I actually woke up and thought that happened. That was really real. It was the weirdest thing, and I don't know where it came from because I haven't been thinking about planes or anything.
It takes a bit to shake the energy of it and all, doesn't it?
It lasted days, did that.
I was a kid. I was about 6 or 7 at my grandma's, at my nan's. And I was asleep. I have to say this. I wasn't up and I wasn't aware I was asleep. No. But in my dream, I looked out of the front window and this man was kind of dragging his leg up the lane. Yeah. And he had like a D-mob suit on, like an old-fashioned D-mob suit, Deb. Not a trilby or a fedora, but a kind of in between of that, not something I could make. He was very white-faced. And I knew he was coming for me. And in my head, I was trying to shut all of the doors.
Right.
Always quickly as I can so he wouldn't come. And I can't remember the end of that dream. I remember waking up and screaming and everything.
Yeah.
I can still feel the energy of him. You know, I said to Mark, because I was interviewing someone yesterday and they were talking about the Hat Man, and I said, I wonder if that's what he was.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just this old man. He was dragging his leg, but very smart for a creepy, horrible thing. Like, but just something about him, very MIB about him. I don't know. So I was just wondering if anyone else had ever had one like that, where you just think, no, I'm sure that were real.
I've got 2 prophetic dreams before, but they're kind of running my family a little bit. So my dad, he doesn't so much now, but he's had lots of prophetic dreams. The 2 that I had when I was at school, primary school, maybe 10 years old, I dreamt that I would have a motorbike accident, which I literally lived almost to the letter. About almost 30 years later. And that was very bizarre because a white bird that seemed completely out of place landed on the signpost exactly where I had the accident.
Wow.
That was very unusual. I also had another dream that was odd at the time where I dreamt of like robots. Like it was like robots in Egypt. And then I later found out about 4 or 5 years ago that someone, I forget which Persian writer wrote about it, but he wrote like loads of stuff about these strange robotic ancient Egyptian things, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It wouldn't be something that you would normally tie together like robots in Egypt.
Yeah.
So that was
Mm.
but yeah, my father, he had a dream of he went to visit someone in America, and while he was there, he dreamt that he met the woman's father and said that, oh, we have to leave now to avoid a massive accident. And then it's quite a long story, so I won't go into all of it. But basically, because they did leave, they missed two very serious accidents happening when they came back. Where their car was parked was a massive car crash, which could have potentially killed them.
Bloody
Which is
hell. That's
so,
scary.
Very.
yeah. So
Mm.
dreams can do. I don't know if if we're tapping into something else or seeing some form of future or past, but they're a little bit more than just fun images or nightmares while you're asleep, for certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
dreams are absolutely terrifying, aren't they? I mean, I've had nightmares, and I've never had that thing where they pin you to the bed or anything like that. I've been lucky in that sense. I've never been paralysed or anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
But sleep's not my favourite part of the day.
No.
See, I've never really had nightmares, to be honest with you. I've had bad dreams.
Yeah.
I wake up shouting and kicking and all that, and it's usually I'm being chased or I'm chasing someone, but
Yeah.
it's nothing bad. I once wake up, it's like, it's just a dream, and that's it. I'm fine with it.
I've had
I've
ones that
never
I
been,
can't check off for days.
no,
Mm.
nothing like that. Feel left out now.
No, we because we're all unique, aren't we? So like, I
Yeah.
haven't really had a UFO, any interaction with UFO or anything.
Right.
Anyone have dreams that reoccurring? Like I have a dream that keeps going on and on and on, and I'll keep coming back to that one dream.
I
Yeah,
used to, not now. I don't.
I haven't shared
I
it
had
with
one when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us. I want to hear them. Tell
Yeah,
me.
come on, LA.
I think I was around 7 to 8. I don't know how long it went on for recurring, but I kept having this dream that I would wake up in my dad's old house, and for some reason my bed was underneath the window, and I would look up and there was a wolf sitting there, and then it backed me into the room, growling at me.
Right.
I ran to the stairgate that was at the top of the stairs with this wolf like following me, and then I heard my family being ripped to shreds by the wolves downstairs.
Oh,
That went on quite a lot, and as a 7-year-old, that
Yeah.
was very scary. But I had that quite a few times, and I remember it like exact to this day. But I had that when I was about 7 or 8.
that is
That was nice.
traumatizing. That would be
Wow.
absolutely
Yeah, a
traumatizing.
little bit.
I don't
Yeah.
think my daughter would mind if I say, but she went through something similar, and that was a wolf outside the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and you poor thing.
That's scary. At
Yeah.
that age.
I
Oh,
s-
It's,
waking up screaming, and it was just like it was very graphic. I didn't see anything in the dream. I just heard it, but it was
It
it
felt.
wasn't nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
yeah, that is. I spoke to a lad. He's in his, I think, late 20s, early 30s, and for him it was a gorilla. It appeared at the window of his room. It wasn't a dream. It appeared at the window, and he said he could see its fangs and its teeth, and he just imagine the terror of a grown person seeing a gorilla, but seeing one in an area where you're supposed to be safe in your bedroom, and you're in England, so you should be seeing them anyway. And he ran down to his parents and everything and told them, and I don't think they really believed him, and he said he was really grateful because they were moving house. But when they moved to the new house, which was several hundred miles away, on his first night there, something was pulling the covers off his bed. And that went on for, he said, till he was about 14. It would throw things at him in the middle of the night. and it was as if basically it was feeding on his fear.
Yeah.
And he said he'd lost a couple of relationships because of it, because he can't have the curtains open up or downstairs at all at any point.
Yeah.
And because he's frightened of what he'll see through the window. So for some people, they carry it even into adulthood.
Yeah. Traumatizing.
Yeah.
Mine's just weird.
So was it just the gorilla that he had the encounter with, or did
No,
it change?
that was his first thing that he can remember, right? With this gorilla. But at night in his room, he would see like an orb, not a nice white orb, something that would come in through the window. So he had, I think he's been terrorized by an electromagnetic entity, like a being that is there simply to do that, because he saw it as light. He saw it once. He said he woke up one night. You know the typical hag, the character of the hag at the bottom of the stairs. So just awful. It would appear in very different ways to him, but in bed at night, and it traumatized him. He'd wake up and his feet would be pointing to the ceiling and things like that. So it was like full on body manipulation.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Which honestly, you could say that he had PTSD because everything triggers that event. You know, it was very upsetting for him. And he was he wasn't the only child in the house, but it was only him that it happened to. So it didn't happen to his sister or anything. Yeah.
That's awful.
Especially from 7 to 14. You don't really know who you are at that age anyway, do you? And you've got everything's changing in your body. But you are coming into your new energy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know, don't mean to be awful, but back in primitive days, 13, 14 was a grown woman.
Yeah.
So
It was, yeah.
You know, so that's when you're coming into your female or your male energy. So things do ramp up. That's why you get poltergeist cases. Me and Nathan were chatting about one just down the road from us. And I've never in my entire life known a council to admit that a house is haunted. And
Really?
West Orton Council, Andy said, we admit it. What's going on? We cannot fix it. We can't change it. Things had run down the wall. Awful things went on in the house, and lots of different people lived in it. And then one family lived in it for a long time, and they were terrorized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no.
Scary.
No.
Give that one a miss.
Yeah. Scary stuff.
No, we're going to go and investigate. Me and Nathan are going to go and investigate it.
Yeah, go for it.
Why not? You know, why not? And then we might learn something.
I like an investigation. Right. Questions. Right. Nickname's got a question. If you could go back in time, where or what event would you like to go to? Oh, I like that question.
Easy.
Go on then.
Philadelphia experiment.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'll let everybody else answer while I think of this one.
Yeah. Just because of what it is and what happened and all the consequences that followed it and everything else. Because we was talking about this the other day, weren't we?
Yeah.
And people started, even weeks after the event, some of the people that were on US Eldridge started phasing in and out. They'd go invisible and you had no control over it. There's one guy who sat at the dinner table with his wife and kids. He just got up. We went virtually transparent, walked through the kitchen living room wall, was never seen again.
Yeah.
It's just weird stuff like that. And it happened for years afterwards. It weren't just it didn't just stop when the experiment stopped.
Yeah.
It kind of kept going.
Yeah.
Right. That's who's doing the, what's it called? I can never pronounce it. That thingy project.
Montauk Project.
The Montauk Project, that started
Nice.
when they stopped doing the MK Ultra, but there was some sort of connection with the Montauk Project and the Philadelphia experiment. Everything kind of everything just synced together, everything just connected.
Yeah.
And then this Montauk beast appeared, and that's when they had to, Preston Nichols had to shut everything down. He was the main guy that was running it. And they were literally chopping through the cables to try and stop all this transmission from the tower,
Yeah.
and everything they was doing, it wouldn't stop. The energy was just going through it. He ended up getting a acetylene bottle on his back that, like, what you use for welding and that, and burning through all the cables to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
And apparently, you can go around the site now and you can see where they've had to burn it to the ground because it was that bad. But yeah,
See,
and
start
all that,
messing with
yeah,
these things.
yeah, opening portals. They made a chair. So they made a chair where you could sit in it and you can time travel in this chair and go to different realms and different times.
Yeah.
You'll have to listen or read the book on it. It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, really is. So,
Mm.
but I've listened to podcasts pretty much. I listened to one last week and just listened to loads, and it's just so interesting.
Yeah.
What they did, some of it was pretty sick, and you shouldn't have been allowed to breathe after that because of some of it was really nasty. But just what came out of it is just like a movie, it's
Yeah.
like a movie, like nothing. You'd never expect anything like that to be real.
No. Umbra, where would you go back to?
I would probably go back 6 million years and write Andy Code stole my golden budgie smugglers.
You could have waited till I drank.
To be honest, I would probably go back to somewhere like Göbekli Tepe, or
Yeah.
just some of the incredible, unfeasibly difficult ancient monuments, and just
Yes.
watch how did they do that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, that would obviously include the pyramids or any of the Ellora cave system where they're just tunneling down into rock, and it's got to be so precisely and perfectly engineered. It
Yeah.
seems impossible. And then I would still write Andy Code stole my golden budgie.
it's not true. I borrowed them and given you back without washing. You know
Yeah,
the
I
story.
mean, if they're not washed, they're not given back.
I think I'd go to Easter Island. I want to know how they made the heads on Easter Island.
Mm.
I'd like to watch that being done.
You know they're not heads, don't you? The full
No.
body.
Yeah, they go down into the earth.
They go about another 12 foot into the ground.
Yeah.
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 They have big patterns on their backs as well, don't they? So there's like all sorts of carving on the back,
Yeah.
which may or may not tell of previous, global disasters. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Apparently, there's 3 or 4 different types of carvings on them. They're not all the same.
No.
There's like different groups of different ones. I only found this out the other week watching Discovery Channel. But they all look the same. But if you go get closer to them, they're all like there's certain like groups of them. Very strange.
Yeah. Where would you go, Deb? Oh, she's got.
Because I can only have one, and I'm right greedy, so I'm trying to narrow it down. I don't know. I don't want to waste it.
You're not really going, Deb. Just give an answer.
No, I'm trying to think.
No, this is once you say it's written in stone. That's it. Job done.
I don't know. I think probably right back to the beginning of time. What did you used to call it before the moon arrived? Before
the moon.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go back to when we were completely at base there, and probably I'd love to. Yeah, I'd go with that. I'd probably go as far back as we could in humankind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd go with you to that.
Ooh.
Right, what about you, Joe?
Me?
Yeah.
Have to be the Salem witch trials.
Oh, yeah.
I have to. Yeah. Definitely.
Then again, they might haul you up and,
You'd be the first one to go, Joe.
Probably would. I believe I was one once, so there you go.
Excellent. And Ellie, what about you? Where would you go?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think the Sailor Witch Trials is a good one, but
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else that I'd like probably want to go to.
Yeah, makes
Can
you
I
think.
just say, if you ever go to Salem, it's a really eerie place. Even like mid-afternoon on a weekday, it's very, very, very creepy place to go.
I'd love it.
It's nice. It's a beautiful town. It's only a little place. I was lucky enough to go a few years ago, and we went through it, drove through the cemetery and all that, went to the museum and everything. But it's just something about, you can feel the energy shift. It's very strange.
See, Sharon's saying there, I will go forward 100 years and see which species is in charge and what's happened. That's a good idea.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not being ignorant, me. I'm just answering questions in chat because
That's fine.
No, you're all right.
Can I put the glasses on and I'll be able to see?
Yeah, put them on.
Anyone ever seen a wolf?
All right, we'll relay them to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, put them on, Joe. You got to see them.
There you go.
Hey, this is
Right.
just Ruby. Excuse me, 1 minute, right? But
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That's
you
fine.
can see what I did to my eyes.
Right, I'm just going to answer this quickly off Blue Shift.
Mm-hmm.
They're better than the first pair I got. They're better than the Night Fox. I've not really used them because it's been really crappy weather. So,
Yeah.
hopefully I'm going to get to use them at some point this week. And I'm planning on making a video with them, like taking photos and doing some video shots. I've got the tripod somewhere, so I just need to get it all set up on a dry night and get going on it.
Have you
Once I do
bought
it, a couple of
Have you
weeks.
bought
Sorry?
it a little umbrella?
Huh?
Umbrella.
I said, have you bought it a little umbrella?
That umbrella will fit on anything. It's a parasol off a child's pram. £11 from Argos, if anyone's interested.
If
If
it
it
works,
works,
It works. It covers, stops anything getting damaged. So
if it works, it works.
it's foiled on it as well. So if it's too hot, it protects it from the heat.
excellent.
So
That's what you want.
That's a good idea.
double for your money. Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
Do you know them fluffy things that you put on a bow and arrow? They're like called a muffler. It's like a fluffy thing.
Oh, yeah.
I used to put back in the day when iPhone mics were pretty shit. I used to put my little microphone in and use one of them because it was like 40 quid to buy one of the mic ones, and it was only £1 to buy one of them. But it works. It worked really well. You know, sometimes you're better MacGyvering, aren't you? You get a better product. A dog woman in glasses. You got to be able to see, Mike. Yeah, I can't see. I can't kill anyone because I can't see. How's Joe supposed to go and kill people if she's not got her glasses on?
Exactly. That's the out.
Without them, especially with contacts in as well.
Yeah, like Andy and his contacts. Somebody could get you, Andy, and you wouldn't know they were coming.
Exactly.
It just feels like there's someone there all the time. That's what disease. It just feels like that.
Mine are fine, but I just can't see without my glasses. So.
I can't mess with my eyes. There's no way I could wear contact lenses.
No.
I'd have to have a light stick.
No.
It took me about 40 minutes to get them both in, put it that way.
Mm.
Glad I don't do it every day.
Deb, if my guys technology, they're probably about the level of Betamax videos.
Yeah.
How many rims of glass I put in front of these eyes, I cannot see. Yeah. So I don't. Me contacts would be that thick.
Yeah. My bottle bottoms, you won't be able to blink.
I look like, honestly, if I don't have them thinned out and that, I look like bubbles off.
Mr. Magoo.
I do. Yeah, even worse than Mr. Magoo.
That's what I said.
Next question's from Ruby. What one thing would you all never want to encounter?
A winged humanoid. Anything that goes
flap.
No. Can't do it. They're the scariest of all.
Yeah.
They could just swoop down, get you, and you're gone, and nobody'd even know.
Yeah.
It's the idea of that leathery. Do you remember the case of the black? What was it, Deb? The monkey-beaked bird.
Oh yeah.
So it's the kids in the back of the car, and Mum and Dad are driving. This is like down Sevenoaks way, and this thing just comes right at the back of the car window and just flaps its wings above her and terrifies her.
Yeah.
And she saw it 2 more times. Once when she was just going into her next stage of power, and then again in her early 20s. So that was significant to me. And she said it looked like a monkey with a beak, had monkey arms and legs, but it had these leathery wings, and it flapped. And the idea of that, just like, oh no,
Yeah.
no.
What about you, Umbra?
Well, I was just reading a question now. Is Umbra wearing sparkly hot pants?
Well, are you?
I'm not, but
Yeah.
I'm quite disappointed that I'm not now because that sounds like a brilliant idea.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah.
So, no, unfortunately. So one thing would I never want to encounter is a difficult question, because I have an extremely curious mind. So I'm not really afraid. I probably should be, but I'm not really afraid of things. So there's nothing that I wouldn't want to encounter because if I did, I would want to know what's its origin, how did it come to be.
Yeah.
So there probably isn't anything that I don't want to encounter. I mean, I wouldn't want to encounter radiation, but I still want to know
Yeah.
and understand it, you know? So it's even if it's a dark and evil force, it's not as evil as sparkly hot pants,
Yeah.
but I would
Not
still
quite.
want to know as much about that thing as I can. I'm of the opinion I'd rather be very informed,
Yeah.
even if it's something dark and ominous, than not.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Mm.
Don't think
Well,
there's any.
Joe, what about you? Joe wants to see a dog man anyway, don't you, Joe?
Well, yeah.
Not
Yeah, I
want
want to see a dog man, but I would never want to see one of those AI human robots because they really freak me out.
To do me as well.
Yeah.
More-
The
more
ones that want to kill you.
Yeah.
the ones that look human. They're just weird.
Do you know which ones really
Mm.
freak me out? The ones that look like the bottom half of a donkey. They're like load carrying ones, and they've got the donkey legs, and oh god,
Oh,
they're
the
horrible.
4 legs, and you
Yeah.
can't push them over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you kick them, yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
kick them
you
and they don't
can't.
go over. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Mm.
Hey,
I
I'm
think
what Kelly's saying.
I know that's not paranormal, but I really wouldn't want to encounter one of those.
Mine's
No,
well,
that's
it's
fair enough.
not. Don't have to be paranormal. It's just
Oh no,
some.
that's positive. Yeah.
See, that won't worry me. I'd just kick it.
Oh no, they don't go over. They
They
follow
don't
you.
go over there. They'll have your legs.
Challenge accepted.
No.
Ali,
What's
what
yours,
about you?
Ella?
A skinwalker. I hate. Oh, they really freak me out. The fact that like you don't know whether it is the person that you're looking at. I just nah.
Yeah.
Did
Don't like
anybody,
skinwalkers.
did anybody watch Blaze last night? There was a program on later on about different encounters, and one of those was a skinwalker. And this bloke and his wife had pulled over in the desert where the mountains and everything were, and he saw this thing coming towards him, and it was like it was almost like lurching, but
Yeah.
there was like trails coming off it. And as he got nearer, he realised that this thing had these glowing red eyes, and it was making its way towards him. So he ran back to the car. His wife put his foot on the accelerator, and the next thing, this hand came through the window and was trying to attack her. So she's driving, he's trying to fight this hand off, and eventually,
Was the
whatever it
window
was,
open?
was
Daft
what?
question. Was the window open?
Yeah, I think she had the window open. Yeah.
No, this week saying it come through. I didn't know if it
No,
might morph
no.
through or whatever.
No, the window was open, but it was this gigantic hand of this thing that were keeping up with the car, and it was Skinwalker territory. So I'm assuming that's what it was.
It's something.
Sorry, I'm chewing my grip.
So I've took my teeth out. I'm going to end up spitting everywhere or choking or both.
Oh, God, I'm getting this off then. Forgetting
Can't do it. This hat's coming off in a minute as well. Squashing the head.
Be shedding your.
I think mine, it'd either be a reptilian or black-eyed kid. I would like to see them. I would like to witness both. but not at close quarters.
No.
I think they're the only two really that freak me out. Like, is it the what they call dragonas?
Draconian. No.
Dragonas, isn't it?
No.
Dragonians.
Draconians, like a
That's the plan.
reptilian. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
they're supposed to be the proper nasty ones, aren't they?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be more that than a black-eyed kid, just because, like, supposedly minimum 7 foot tall and
Yeah.
built of pure
Reptilian.
muscle. Yeah, if that slaps you, you're not getting up for a month.
No, that's the thing.
So yeah,
Deb,
yeah.
Hello.
did you find out anything more on the lady who was supposedly killed by foxes?
No, but from the video that I put out on YouTube last week, a chap's got in touch with me and he's going to see if he can find out anything for me.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's
So
really
that'd be good because he lives up there.
Didn't you hear from someone who saw some weird foxes?
Yeah.
That's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. That was creepy.
Yeah, that's the idea of it. Yeah, it was just on my mind. Then I was thinking, oh, I wonder if she's heard anything else.
Yeah, he said, had he taken these dogs for a walk or something? And this group of foxes. Now, foxes are usually, if unless they're a family, they're usually on their own. And this one, there was a lot of foxes, but one was bigger than the rest of them, and at times it stood on 2 legs. That's not a fox. That's not a fox to me either.
No.
Fox. Not if it's up on 2 legs, it's not a fox.
No.
And you they don't normally pack up like that. They're pretty singular.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And especially when they're grown up, if they're a family and the younger ones have grown up, they usually fight with each other, so they go their own separate ways. So for them to be a group of foxes, and like I say, this one was bigger than all the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Male foxes.
Rings a bell. That rings a bell and I can't place it.
Sorry, Deb. Male foxes stay on their own. They just mate and then bugger off.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
The female and the pups or cubs. So that'd be weird.
But apparently they weren't scared. They were quite happy to walk towards him and look menacing.
They were trying to frighten him, John.
That's weird.
Which is really strange. One fox, do that, you think, oh, it's got like really bad mange or rage.
Yeah.
But a whole pack?
Yeah.
That's more wolf behaviour than fox.
Yeah, it is. That's weird.
Definitely.
Yeah, so we'll just keep an eye out and see if
she comes up. That's all we can do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Gonna do one more question for Joe, and then we'll go do a break.
Yeah.
Is that all right? So I'm going to do this one from Rick Allen. This is direct to you, Joe.
Just because he loves me. Yes, Rick.
Would you really want to meet a dog man?
You would, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Stupid question.
But what if it was the last thing you ever encountered?
What was the what?
What if that was it? Once you met it, and then it just ripped you to pieces and game over for you?
Yeah.
That's fine, isn't it? It's just I would have got what I wanted.
Yeah, you've got to go someday, haven't you?
Fine. Yeah, might as well go now. Not better today.
Get a bloody good meal off me, wouldn't he? Wouldn't have to kill no one else for a while.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Just go
I wasn't expecting that answer, but
It's a good question for when we come back.
Do the break.
Yeah, go on, Deb.
Yeah.
No, I said this is a good question for when we come back. So
yeah.
All right, cool. Right, so I'll do the 4-minute break, and then see you in 4 minutes. Believe it or not. Well, I would if I knew what was going on with my computer.
Not a lot.
It's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Right. See you in 4.
See you in 4.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I swear to God, that is not 4 minutes.
That was like
It's
2.
It's actually 4 minutes 9.
It's a minute and a half, I'm telling you.
4 minutes, sorry, 4 minutes 8 is what
No,
it is.
Minute and a half.
No way, no way.
Oh,
Minute and a half first. I'm going to time it next time.
Yeah, do it.
you can. In fact, it's longer than that because of the bits that I've added at the beginning and the end.
Yeah,
So
sorry about the teeth. Anyway,
I'm going to be making a new video soon anyway. Same music, just changing the
picture.
imagery.
Imagery. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Right, there's a comment from Rick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think knowledge is self-correcting. If you don't change, then you're stuck in your beliefs, and I agree with that.
Yes.
Totally. Because everything
Without going
changes.
without going into it, look at religion. The end. Next.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going there with that, but yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Right, next question is from Nathan. I'm a massive believer in stone theory. What do you guys think of it and how it works?
Yeah. I think a lot of the stuff that goes on at Winter Hill is because it's granite, and granite's really good at holding energy.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's like recording onto tape, isn't it? But
Yeah.
you just using a different material.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And obviously a bigger recording because you're recording the surroundings. Excuse me.
Especially if there's been like a murder in the place, or like
Yeah.
real emotion, but treble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More and more. I think that plate can.
It's a higher energy, isn't it, when there's stuff
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, and you
Is it
combine that with
granite that's got a lot of quartz in it.
yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, that'd account for it then.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, and it's a bit like Toddy Deb as well, with all the stuff we have going on there. Yeah.
Weird place. Very weird place.
I saw one. Wait, let me flick back to it, see if I can see it. 1 second.
I've probably starred it somewhere.
Yeah, we do try and start the questions. A few get through, or they just don't end up on the.
Oh, it was David, and he's asked, do we think, as each of the panel, that some alien bases are underground on Earth? That's an easy one for me. Yes, 100%. I believe that. Brecon Beacons, there is supposed to be an underground base. We have a lot of missing people in the Brecon Beacons. Todmorden, another one. Lots and lots of missing time in Todmorden. Lots of people with implants, animal mutilations, abductions. So I am a great believer that there are a number of bases throughout the Earth.
And under the sea.
Yes. And I do also think, well, I've said this before and I'll keep saying it, where you get these random military bases, especially around Suffolk and Norfolk. I know I'll go on about it a lot, but that's the main areas that I drive. It's like 2.5 hours away from me. You go past these bases and they are right in the middle of Rendlesham or Thetford or just it's not the place you'd expect there to be a military base. A lot of them are like US and UK combined, like Air Force bases, but especially Woodbridge. It's just you've just thrown it in Rendlesham.
You follow the coast up, and if you follow that coast up, you'll end up at Bempton, Saltfleet Marsh, James Dyke. It's all on that northeast coast, isn't it? And you've got an awful lot of dogman reports there, which doesn't surprise me, and an awful lot of like that predator being, where people can hear but can't get their eyes on it.
Like what I seen going up them trees.
Yeah, the invisible monkeys, exactly like that. Yeah. Oh.
I went past a place the other day. I think it was yesterday. Been past a few times, but I only noticed they had the yellow signs up saying "Do not enter." Property of MOD, explosions, and something else.
Yeah,
couldn't read it because I was driving, but it's like I've not seen.
weaponry or something.
There's yellow on white background signs with black writing, but I'd never seen these signs before. I'd not seen that sign as a sign before, and these signs were really new. They weren't battered or anything. Where a lot of the MOD ones, they've been there since like the 70s or 80s, and it's very rare they renew them. But it was weird how it was just this one little bit right at the side of the road. You could walk past it. There's a footpath on it,
Yeah,
and it was like just sign saying "Do not enter." Unexploded explosives, something like that. Anyway,
yeah, unexploded weaponry or something
but
like
you
that.
wouldn't even know that land was part of the MOD.
No,
It's very, very weird.
That
very
case
weird.
I told you about is close to Thetford, where those guys went out and they pulled up at this house, sat outside on the bench, had a whole conversation, blah, 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 blah. Another one where they drove off and thought, hang on, that were a bit weird. Let's just go back and have a look. And when they got back, the house weren't there.
Yeah.
So they went knocking on the neighbours' doors, and the neighbours like, "There's never been an house there, never, ever, ever." And he was like, "There was an house, there was a bench, there was a garden, the whole 9 yards. Can't find it. Must have been back 20 times looking for it. Can't find it."
Well, yeah, because it's
Where
frustrating.
about?
Isn't
Was
it?
that the one in Ruffey?
I'll have to go and look. It's on.
It's near Woolpit. There is actually a vanishing house.
Oh no, I don't think it is. This was just.
Is it? All right.
They had a job during COVID.
Ah, right, got you.
So they were out and about on the roads, kind of thing. And there was honestly there was a guy acting weird who was at the house, and he was acting in a really weird way. And it's too weird for me to say it on live stream. Just not. His behaviour was just not right. So they kind of tried intervening, and they didn't get them anywhere. So they got in the car and drove off. But the guy's like, "Look, we need to go back. We can't just leave it like that. It's not right, is it? We go back. It's not there. Guy's not there. House is not there. Bench
That's
is not
really
there."
weird. Really
Very
weird.
It's not only, like I say, only recent during COVID time.
Oh, right.
But how can
Alan,
I Spanish?
have you had any experiences like that? Like,
No. I remember being a kid. Mine were more of belonging rather than it not being there.
Right.
Once Island, you know that? Have you ever heard of that? The oldest building in the world, and it's a burial chamber.
All right.
Yeah, and at certain times of the year, the light is just perfect, and it comes through on the Equinus and everything. And walked into it as a kid and just felt like I was at home. Really,
right.
just really comfortable, dead happy to be there. And considering it was a burial mound, it was just the feeling was just lovely. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
And one more time, when you go on a school trip and they take you to like a museum or like, we went to this house and it was a big, I think it was Tatton House. And I walked in one of the bedrooms and thought, as I walked in the bedroom, I thought, well, that's not the right bedding.
Yeah.
But only those 2 times. Yeah. Anyone else? Has anyone else gone into a place and either thought this, it's not there again, or you've gone into a place and gone, actually, I've been here before?
Yeah. No, I can't think that I have actually.
I have.
Yeah.
Go on.
Where was it? Do you mind telling me a bit about it?
Who, me?
Yeah, the one who said I have.
Yeah, I have. Honest to God, this is gospel, and I swear on it. I went to St. Ives, going back years ago now. I went to St. Ives with my boyfriend, my fiance then, going back when I was in my 20s. And I knew everywhere in St. Ives. And we went into a shop, and I said to the lady, "Where's this house?" And there's an old lady sat in the shop. And I said, "Where's this house?" And she said, "That's been gone about 40 years, my love. You've been here. You're not that old. How would you know?" And I knew the whole layout of St. Ives, but I don't know why. So weird.
Yeah.
I did know.
Weird.
I did. I knew the common streets, where they went up, and I was talking to this lady for hours, and my boyfriend's going, come on. I'm like, sod off. And I was talking to her, and she said, "How do you know all this? This was when I was a kid." And I said, "I don't know. I just know."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
You lived there in a past life, Joe?
I believe I was a witch there, and I believe I was burnt as a witch. And I'll go into that another time, but yeah.
Yeah. I've been to places in the UK and abroad, and I've just known my way around. I don't know if it's if they've just got a good sense of direction or whatever, but
Yeah, you could have because you
it
drive
has,
all day long.
yeah, it could be.
I'm with Joe, and I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been anywhere and known where it is, but mine's a combination of a recurring dream and seeing something, thinking, "Oh my God, I've been dreaming about that my entire life."
I've done that as well. Yeah.
I have a dream where I had it as a kid, and it took place up here, and I didn't live up here when I was a kid, and I didn't recognise it until I moved up here. And it was just this over and over and over recurring dream. And then when I moved here, I thought, oh my God, that's that row of houses. That's that forest I'm looking for and could never find.
I've done that.
It's freaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, how do I know this? And I could, for years, I still don't know. To this day, I don't know.
I went through the record show and I found like a great like nan, like 17 something. She was born here, and I thought, oh, isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Like I come back to the village where she was born, kind of thing.
This old lady went to the back of her shop and come out with a map, and she said, "Look, how do you know this map?" And I said, "I don't. I just don't. I just know what was here and where it should be. Unexplainable. I just don't know."
You never gone back?
Yeah, I've been back loads. I spent half my life in Devon, Cornwall, which is my accent is part Cornwall. But yeah, but that was the first time I'd actually been to St. Ives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strange.
When I was 9, I had a dream that my mate lived on this avenue, just an avenue with trees. There were no cars parked on this road, and there were big old Victorian terrace houses, and one in particular had a bright red, like pillar box red door with shiny brass knockers and stuff on it. And my mate lived in that house in this dream, and I went up the little steps to go knock on the door, and the dream stopped. Then when I was 10, we moved to Lincolnshire. Oh, sorry, no, my granny married somebody in Lincolnshire, and we went for the first visit. And on the train, as we came into Grimsby, we went over this level crossing, and that road was there, even the red door with the brass knocker on it. That's the only time that's ever happened. And it was like weird. And because I told my mum about the dream, and then I said to her, that's the road. And it was the avenue with the trees and no cars and all these houses and this one door. Really weird. But yeah, that's the only time that's happened.
That is strange, isn't
Umbra?
it? Whoa.
Sorry, say that again.
Have you had anything like that?
No, I haven't had a lot of kind of real world experiences such as that. My parents are kind of much more involved in that kind of thing. But I personally haven't. No, but it's not for the lack of trying. I mean, I'm someone who tries to instigate not just CE5, but all forms of phenomena, just to kind of tap in, because I kind of think that we are all linked into something else. I just don't know what or how to use it properly.
Yeah. Being tuned into it.
Yeah.
Listen, there's no easy ABC, is there? There's no easy way of saying like you do this, this, and this.
No manual.
No.
That's it.
No.
And it's unique.
Just have to go with it.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got a dead itchy face, but I'm going to end up wiping all the makeup off. So
yeah, don't do that.
Killing me. Ali, have you had anything?
I think we'll be all right.
I know you've had some like odd type stuff going on, haven't you?
Yeah, I've not had like the thing where I have a dream about a place and then I go there and it's the same, but I have had, I guess, you could call them premonitions, I guess. I've had dreams of like people dying and then like mainly like celebrities and stuff, and then I wake up the next morning, check the news, and they're dead, and things like that. But I've never really had like the place one. I've never been to a place and I've had this exact dream.
That's a lot, isn't it? What did you feel? If you don't mind me asking, the first time it happened, what did you feel like when you did you kind of push it away, or were you just
sort of? A bit of both. I was really weirded out by it because the first time it ever happened was with an actor from The Walking Dead. Randomly just had a dream that he died, and then the minute I woke up, I was like, I have to check my phone. Like it was right before I was about to wake up, had to check my phone, and I checked the news, and there was an article saying that he died, and I was just like, that's really weird, and I kind of didn't want to think about it, and then it happened a couple more times, and I was just like, I don't like this.
No.
So yeah, it was. I kind of pushed it away, but it is. Yeah, I don't like it when that happens. My nan has a similar thing as well. That
Yeah, 'cause
with
you
that,
two
but
are really big empaths, aren't you? You
Yeah.
feel
yeah,
and the feelings and emotions when we're going out doing investigations,
Well, it's an
especially your nan, is
bloodline, isn't it?
so strong.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think when me and Ellie are out investigating, we do pick up a lot. We bounce off each other a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we
mm,
did the
Mix of
synchronous
energy.
readings, we both at the same time was like, I feel sick.
I would,
yeah,
It,
I would
Yeah.
love
yeah, it's
Ellie
very
and
odd.
I'd love Ellie and her nan and her mum to come on together.
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah, they can be persuaded, can't they?
It would be awesome.
Maybe with the camera off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
don't
just
have to be Cam on Ellie,
It
but
just told you, is there?
because your mum's got a lot of stories, hasn't she? Like
yeah.
when at the
Yeah,
cinema and all that, all the stuff going on
yes,
at
yeah,
the view, and yeah.
Mm.
So yeah,
yeah,
there'd be some good stories.
It would be
I think
brilliant.
one of the hardest things is not trying to explain it away.
Yeah.
mm,
Because
Yeah,
you're conditioned to do that, aren't you? You know, you
mm,
think, well, was it a car light or was it this or was it that? It
yeah,
seems to like we have to come up with a reason.
Yeah.
And I
yeah,
found too, once I just accepted that weird stuff was happening around me.
But it runs in Ellie's family, and they've all had.
Exactly. Just lean into it and
mm,
get comfortable with it and use it
yeah,
to your
exactly.
benefit, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it when stuff happens. I'm just like, that was cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Embrace it.
One for the future.
Yeah.
Mm,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be,
Right. We've got loads
Yeah,
of questions.
Right.
yes.
Rick wants
From
to know:
Ricardo.
do evil exist as a power or as an entity? Ooh, there's a question.
ooh,
I'll go first. I think it's a power. I
mm,
don't
Yeah.
think it's might be a group of things, but I think it's more of a power energy rather than a actual individual thing.
Yeah.
I
mm.
think it's both.
Say that again,
Well, no, I was just going to say I kind of agree that it's more of a power than an entity, but I do believe you could probably manifest an entity from the power.
Yeah,
Um, so it's probably primarily a force, but then I believe that everything is pretty much a set of fundamental forces that
Yeah.
other things kind of emanate from.
yeah,
Have no proof of that. It's just something that I feel seems correct to me,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
I couldn't prove that.
No, I
Yeah,
agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
See, I don't believe in
Mm.
heaven and hell. So for me, there's good and there's evil.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, yeah,
but,
same.
but it's just for me, everything's energy, and it's so something's negative, something's
Yeah.
positive, and
Yeah,
most
because
beings are a mixture of the two. Yeah.
yeah. I was just going to say, what you saying about heaven and hell? I think everyone's because obviously we're all different. That my hell is going to be different to your hell,
Yeah,
and same
definitely.
with heaven.
Mm.
Something that could be hell for you might be something that's heaven for me. It's
My
that
house,
person's own perspective of what they like and
Mm.
dislike.
my house
Yeah.
is Earth now. That's how.
Huh?
How is where we are now on
Yeah.
Earth. That
Yeah.
is our
That's just Southampton, Joe.
no. Oh, we're better off down here than you lot. And we're the rich down here. You're the paupers, Andy.
Hey,
Yeah.
probably true.
Wait till you're up north. You don't even have a pot to pee in, Joe.
Yeah,
No.
Not
That's
what
it.
tell no one.
I can go even deeper, rabbit hilly deeper. Some people believe that what we see now is an illusion, a simulation,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
that
like the Matrix.
It's the
hell is one of those simulations. I think we call it the quantum world.
You have
So
to Excuse me.
Is it made by a higher power or being to keep us trapped and kind of stop us asking questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My real dog man wanted to get in on the act.
Al, what's your perspective on it?
All right, don't lick it off.
Oh, I don't know. I think
Say hello.
I think I'd say more of a power than
Mm.
an entity. But again, you just don't know. It could be
Yeah.
both. It
But
could be neither. It could.
it could
But
be
I
something
think it's
completely
more.
different.
Yeah.
But it's like Umbridge said, it doesn't believe that it's a actual person, but I think they could use front somebody to put it across. Like
Yeah.
we say, just for
It's
example's sake,
definitely other
people are
beings.
probably going to kick off. But with the devil and then Evie, Jesus, our God as the front for good and evil, it's that kind of thing. They need a front person.
Yeah,
Does
like
that
a
make sense?
For me, it's
figurehead.
not one person. I don't think that there's someone who sits on a cloud. I think we're all going to the same
No.
place, and we just
Yeah,
arguing
yeah,
about the road we're taking to get there. In all
We're going
honesty.
back to source. I don't
Yeah.
believe in
Yeah, we
this.
go back to source. That's how it is for me. You go back to source, and then you either come back because you've got lessons to learn, or
Yeah.
you come back because you want to. And honestly, if you don't want to cross over, you don't have to. Some spirits and ghosts are just as stubborn as you are on this side, you know.
Yeah.
You don't change when you cross over. You don't get nicer. I'll be honest, ghosts don't worry me. They don't scare me or anything like that. Rick once told me that the only thing ghosts can do is give you an opinion. And that
Yeah.
stopped me being scared of him, because before that I was like, the idea of like connecting with spirit or anything like that was absolutely terrifying. But when you just think that they're us, aren't they? We'll be like
Yeah.
them one day. I'm definitely coming back.
Oh yeah. I've got plenty of people I'm gonna haunt.
Yeah.
I've got a list. I'm going to do more hours than I do at work. And do weekends. But I don't get overtime for it.
Yeah, you don't get paid for it. It's just for the pleasure of doing it.
Just for the fun. Yeah.
They're
The
not.
Lord, we do it for
Andrew
the
will probably be the first ever spirit to demand flexi time or something, won't
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
hand somebody a timesheet.
he? Yeah.
I'm not doing Sundays. I'm not every other Saturday off. And it's job and finish. Not hanging about waiting for someone to
Yeah,
come back from work.
exactly. Yeah.
Don't be self-employed. You're not going
No.
nowhere you can argue with at the end of the day. Nobody can why you're in a bad mood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get paid off for your staff, can you, if you're self-employed?
No.
Nope.
Is it all right with you guys if I bow out now? My pain's really bad. I'm gonna have to go
Yeah,
and
of course
Yeah,
it
of
is.
course it is.
yeah. I
Thank
didn't
you
mean
for
to leave
joining
you
us.
anything. But
No, thank you so much for coming on.
you are very welcome, and I will definitely be back. And good night,
Yeah.
to everyone in the chat. It's been absolutely lovely. Good night, everyone.
Night,
Cheers,
love.
Dave. See you
Bye.
later. Bye.
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 And then there were 5. Right, any other questions? We've got
Yep,
loads.
from Warren. Right.
Yes.
Do I think the whole Stargate concept is real? I jump into Mars. I do think it is. I think if we've gone to Mars, we've not gone in a ship or a rocket or a capsule or whatever you want to call it. They've used some sort of Stargate to get there. Not even. I won't even call it a portal. It's as it says on the tin. It's a Stargate. You
Yeah.
go through it. It's like going back to the Philadelphia experiment. Some of the people that were interviewed afterwards, it felt like they'd gone in and it was like some whirly, multicolored flashing lights, like tunnel, like going down a water slide with all disco lights and everything in it.
Yeah.
And then they come out the other end and they're somewhere completely different. I think it's very similar to that.
Yeah.
It may take a couple of seconds to do it. Could take 20 minutes, could take 2 hours. I don't know. I've never been through one. But I do
Yes.
believe that is the way that they travel. I don't think they're getting on some rocket designed by Elon Musk and going up through the clouds to get there.
No, I'd agree with
Definitely not.
It's something out there.
No.
Time travel real.
Yeah, it's like they found all these things that look like Stargates in the desert and
Yeah.
down in South America and in the Amazon and everywhere else.
Like
Why
this-
would these big, giant horseshoe type building, I don't know, monuments, whatever you want to call them. Why would they just be placed in the most bizarre places around the world?
How
Yeah.
about the stairs in the woods?
Oh, you see, they freak me out.
Yeah, but are they a
Right.
portal?
Would you go up them stairs?
Yeah, I'd have
I
to.
would.
I'm too nosy.
No,
Would you if there was a door at the end, would you open it?
I'd
no.
open it. I don't know if
Would
I'd
you
step through, but I'd
I
definitely open
don't I don't know if I'd go through it. I'd definitely walk up.
Mm.
But then what if there wasn't a door and the last step was the Stargate and you
No,
it.
didn't know?
You wouldn't know, would you? So you'd be there.
Mm.
no. I would not go up them. Not
I would
after
have
what I've seen on YouTube and read and whatever, you know.
No. Umbra?
I probably would.
You even say
Although,
that?
yeah, I mean, to be fair,
Just
I'm too
nosy, aren't you?
Yeah, he's like me, nosy.
so yeah, curiosity would get the better of me. I mean,
Mm,
I don't need
Mm.
any plots to kill me. I'm front of the queue most of the time.
yeah.
So yeah, I probably would do it. Although I would probably have to do it in knee pads because I would trip up the stairs a lot and look ridiculous.
I'd have
But
to wear
I would 100% do it.
yeah, shin pads or something.
Yeah,
But no,
yeah.
yeah. Ali?
Yeah, I probably would. Again,
You would.
curiosity.
It's
Yeah.
no.
I'd have to.
It's definitely no.
I'd run up, I think.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right.
You
I'd
can't run, Andy.
saunter slightly
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
Or walk.
I think
Yeah.
the word that you would use to get up those stairs is you would strut up them.
That's
Strong.
right.
Oh
You
yes.
would proper give it catwalk with his little mullet and file effects, and like I'll see you in the next century.
Oh yeah. See you in
Obviously,
the 1980s.
Yeah, big fish, little fish. See you
Yeah.
later.
Right, there's a comment from Sharon here. Hang on. Whoop, big bang. There we go. There's a YouTube video of a veteran talking about the US military travelling between Alaska and South America by Stargate and having been using it for decades. There you go.
That could
I
be
believe that.
Mm.
I would believe that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I would.
well.
Mm.
Someone put. Have you? Right. I'm just gonna jump onto this one because I know I've been talking about it. It's one
Yeah.
of my favourite things of ever. It's one from David about the Philadelphia experiment. Now that supposedly was some sort of Stargate that
Did
was
you?
used,
Yeah.
and
Did
it
you?
took. They reckon it took. Oh, I'll listen to it 2 days ago, and I bet you get it wrong.
Yeah, you will do.
You got was it from one side of America to the other, and I think it took at the maximum 43 minutes.
Did
But
you know that
when the
that's
people were
That long.
travelling through, well, some say it was shorter.
Right.
So there's all different times depending on who you talk to that was there. But that Preston Nichols, he was part of that experiment,
Yeah.
and there's that other guy. Oh, what Albert Rosales was talking about.
yeah,
Albert, I
Yeah.
can't think of his
I
name,
can't remember his
and
name.
he was a bloke that kind of like he was in the first experiment in the night. Was it 1950s?
Yeah.
1956, I think
57.
it was.
56 or
56,
7, yeah.
57.
Yeah.
And he was in his 20s when that happened. And then they de regenerated him. So he got younger, a bit like Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
He went back to infant age of around about 1 years old, and he was handed over to a family that had just not long since lost a baby that was like only a few months old, and he
Yeah.
was brought up again, and then he went through that experiment, the Montauk
Montauk.
project.
what project?
So he went through them twice as same person but under two different names.
Right.
Is
But
that the one? Is that the one where they melded into the boat as well?
so some of them
Some of them
were
did.
when it emerged, some of them were stuck in the metal of it. A lot of them went mad. Some people died a couple of days after for no actual reason.
Yeah.
They just completely went mad and just lost it. Other people just phased out and were never seen again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people would phase in it. They'd just be going shopping or going to work, doing whatever they're doing, and they'd just be able to walk through solid objects, and they didn't have any control over it. It
No.
was just as and when it happened, and it's just weird stuff like that all the time.
Mm.
Like I said before, that guy that sat at his dinner table with his wife and kids, he just got up, went all transparent, walked through his wall, and was never seen again.
That's just weird. That scares me.
That,
That.
It's
imagine.
isn't it?
Would you be scared, more scary, if it was your partner that had done it, or you as a person doing it?
I don't know really.
What would freak you out the most?
I haven't got a partner, so
I think it will probably be the same, but it's just a different
Yeah.
take on the same fear, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. But hypothetically speaking, if you was in that situation and it happened,
If I had to pick
that'd
one,
just mess you up, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
if I had to pick one, I would probably choose it to be me, because I
Yeah,
wouldn't really wish that on someone else I knew.
yeah. I
Yeah.
know what you mean. You wouldn't
Yeah.
want to put that
Mm.
pressure on someone that
he's a
have
real
that loss.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Ellie, are you up on that or not your thing?
I think I'm still sort of learning about stuff like this, so I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
I know enough about it because I've just been very much paranormal stuff, so I'm still delving into this side of it. So I don't think I know enough to sort of have an
Oh,
opinion on it.
I'll just
No.
plug something quickly for you. If you want to listen to
Mm.
podcasts, listen to The Belief Hole. Three
Yeah.
brothers
Okay.
from,
Mm.
I think, from Texas or around that area. They
Mm.
cover so much stuff and they go into detail about it, even their own encounters, and it's just
Okay.
amazing, absolutely amazing.
Mm.
Ellie
I
is
have
I'll keep it in mind.
I have heard that the sailors that were fused into the ship, that was a fallacy, but they're only going to tell us what they want us to know, aren't they? So
Oh, they're not going to tell us the truth.
Mm.
they're not going to
The
start
thing
freaking
is,
people out by saying, "Oh yeah, there were some sailors that were fused to the ship."
yeah. Well, this is the other thing. The government, with the NK Ultra, they shut it down and
Yeah.
say, "Yeah, okay, we'll do it." But obviously, they didn't. They carried on doing it for years after.
Yeah.
They just didn't tell them what they was doing with this money, and then apparently it all come to light. It's like they had to literally do it, and then this Mantalk project appeared literally the next night.
Yeah.
And like I
Ellie,
said earlier, then as that was finishing, it synced in. Something happened. There's some sort of connection between that and the Philadelphia experiment
Yeah.
at the same time, and everything went ballistic in portals and stargates and all this manifestation because they was using a chair that could be used for time travel. He'd sit in this chair, and like this Nichols, he'd meditate in it, and he'd meditate and he'd open a portal.
Yeah.
And as
Like
long
my
as he
chair
was
gets me to Morrison's.
as long as he was thinking about this portal, it'd stay open. But if
Yeah.
somebody went through it and he stopped thinking about it and it closed, they're never seen again. It's
That's not
just
good.
yeah. So he had to make sure he was concentrating, or
Oh
people
yeah.
were going missing. Maybe the start of the 411.
Yeah,
Ellie,
possibly.
Ellie, don't worry, you're the next generation, so you're going to
Yeah,
take
you are.
us way
Yeah,
above
you'll
us.
be fine.
You'll be great.
Yeah.
You
Right.
will.
So
Comment from Ruby about what we were on about earlier. True, I live in the country and I've never ever seen a pack of foxes. Foxes don't hang around in packs, so yeah, I agree with that.
Mm.
no, you have male and female and a couple of cubs.
Yeah. And
You
then
have
the male
like
buggers
little
off, and
families.
then the female brings the cubs up till they're old enough, and then they bugger off.
Yeah, well,
I
the
don't know.
bloke
That was
goes
going
out
on the bottom of
getting
my
food.
garden. I might go out and scare them later. Actually, keep my teeth
These
in.
are foxes,
Yeah. Well, I've
never,
got food to put
never
out for
to
them.
be seen again.
Yeah. You want the foxes on me?
All of you.
Hey,
That would be
knew it was
funny.
this. It's everyday look.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'm off to Morrison's like this tomorrow to fill my car up.
So I've got to go and watch Liv playing football. It's not going
Yeah.
to freak out many 10-year-old kids, is it?
Rick told me to keep my tongue away, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fine.
Right,
He's
next
got a
question.
point.
Next question's from Nathan. What if any was the most scariest experience you've had that has made you think I need to stop investigating? Nothing so far.
Nothing, no.
We've had a couple of tricky encounters. Nothing that's going to
Now we're
stop
in
me
nightclubs
from
in Manchester, Andy.
Hey, true story. That's without drinking.
Yeah. That was taxi driving.
Well, that was scary.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of town on a Saturday night. I've
Yeah.
never done an investigation that I thought I'm not doing this anymore.
Yes, you have. Right. I'm going now. Run.
Yeah.
No, but I've not. It's never stopped me going back to that place. I've always returned. We might have stopped for whatever reason, but when I get that gut feeling, and if any of you guys go out and do this, you'll get it, and you will. Don't not take that warning.
It's like you and Ellie been back to places that made you uncomfortable.
Yeah. So you go. So when we've been to Kingsthorpe, mainly Kingsthorpe, we get the feeling of right, it's time to go now, and it's not a nasty. Right, you go, and it's like I'm asking, look, we've got stuff to do. This is how I read it. We've got stuff to do. We don't want you here while you're doing it. It's time for you to go. You've had your 2 hours of filming and a bit of fun and doing what you
Wandering
do,
about.
but we need to get stuff done. So you need to go home, and our next message isn't going to be as polite.
It's like
The only
when you both
time that we got was when we went to St John's on our last investigation.
Yeah.
When it was, I said to Ellie, "Don't run."
Yeah.
When I said "don't run," it actually meant if I run, you need to run as well.
Yeah.
It was because I
I
was
was
walking
ready.
backwards up the hill. Ellie was walking because we needed a 360 visual, and because there was only two of us, it's quite difficult in the dark. And it was awful. The feeling was the worst feeling ever. Imagine you have a massive meal and you eat too much and you're absolutely stuffed and you can't get up and you start moving about and you get that horrible sick feeling.
That was me this afternoon, yeah.
It was that.
Yeah.
But not from eating food.
Yeah.
I think there was some infrasound in that. That's what made us. Because Ellie, you were sick that night,
you
weren't
both
you?
sick. You both out sick.
Yeah.
And then you was off work for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I just kept throwing up
So.
and I just didn't feel right. The Thursday, I went into work. I'd already thrown up a few times. They sent me home because I was literally white as a ghost, no pun intended. I kept throwing up. And I kept getting like cold shivers, and then the next day was the same, and I couldn't explain it other than the coincidence of it being after that investigation.
Couldn't put it down to anything. Weren't like food poisoning or cold or flu or anything like that.
No, because it was
and I had
only
headache.
lasted those 2 days.
Yeah, because it wasn't until I spoke to you in work that's when I said I had headache for a couple of days, but I just put it down to my high blood pressure. Didn't just. I never put 2 and 2 together like that. I think if it's because I'm getting old.
Yeah.
But
that's the feeling that I got down at the bottom of Danes Dyke. Was that overwhelming? It was like a punch in the stomach sickness that doubled me over.
Yeah.
And it
Like being winded without being winded.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's Eames. That's it. That is.
Umbra, you anything?
No, I don't really I don't think that I'm sensitive that way to kind of pick up on you shouldn't be here or negative energies really. Again, it's not for the lack of trying. I do kind of try to perceive as much as I can.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't really experienced that. I know my brother has. And going back to the original question of what would stop you investigating, shadow people was the one for him that kind of did it because he was trying to do remote viewing, astral travel, and lucid dreaming.
Right.
But once the shadow people kicked in, that was like he just tapped out straight away, like "thank you, but not for me."
No.
Um,
No.
I think unless for some reason I was particularly spooked by that, I think that is kind of the threshold to sort of like a successful further breakthrough later on. And I'm
Yeah.
not necessarily convinced that they're all dark and awful beings. I think some of them probably are, almost certainly. But I don't think that we should take everything on face value.
No.
Obviously, you can only go with how you personally feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit more stubborn-headed, and so I
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
tend
I was
to.
told. Sorry, I was told a few years ago. No matter what, always go with your gut feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. But that
Yeah.
one that we did the other week, there's no warning. It was like you need to get out of there and you need to go now, and you're not going to be told twice.
Yeah.
Is that what you got, Ellie?
Yeah, definitely. There was no build up to it. It was literally just all of a
Yeah.
sudden, yep, time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no pre-warning. It weren't even a polite one. It felt like a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like we were being chased out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Felt as
you're
though it was
leaving and you're
chasing us out.
leaving now,
We don't want
and
you here.
Mm,
yeah, you
Yeah.
ain't getting a
mm,
choice about this. So you either go or we're going to force you out. That that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And
mm,
I've never felt that on an investigation, whether it was before I
no.
started doing codes or during. I've never had that. Even when I've been in one of the lived in one of the most haunted houses that I know of, I never felt that threatened, and that was with stuff going
Mm,
on a daily basis. It's
Yeah.
very very strange. Yeah,
Mm,
didn't like it.
no. Right. Question from me now.
Ooh,
Favorite horror film ever, panel? I'm going
no,
first. The original Halloween.
Dog soldiers.
Yeah, that as well. But yeah.
I've got two. Can I have both?
No, just one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have two.
No,
Sod
one.
ya.
One.
Right, American Werewolf in London,
Yeah.
and failing that, the original, The Omen, the very
Oh
first
yeah.
one.
Yeah. I love that.
Dog
There's too many
soldiers.
to choose from. Actually, it was a bad question.
mm.
Oh,
The
how can you say
Shining.
that?
Shining. Yeah. Love
Yeah,
that.
Dog soldiers.
John,
Yeah.
that would
Exorcist.
be my choice as well, The Shining, because there's all sorts of little for people who are into film and stuff like that. The Shining is quite a special film for lots of
Mm,
reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
yeah. No, do you know, I actually had this conversation today. I've never seen The Shining. I've seen clips of it. I've never watched a full movie.
Oh, it's
Wow.
great.
Wow.
The tension that
Wow.
builds in that film is amazing.
I've seen the
I
main
love
clip,
that film.
like with the girls and the lift and then the
Mm,
door and all that. I've seen all them bits, but not all the link up to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
mm.
No, it's
There's,
good.
there's a
So
load of
good.
howlings. There's a
Who?
whole the howlings. There's a whole bundle of them.
Yes.
Howl.
I thought the books were better than the films though, because
They
I read the
are.
books first.
Books are always better, but
Yeah.
you have to include
Yeah,
the
Mm,
in more detail. You can make
Yeah.
anything happen in a book.
yeah.
Best
You
book.
write it. It's there.
Somebody got to say The Exorcist because it's classic, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Best
Mm,
book to film ever is Pet Cemetery. Because
Yes. Yes.
when I read Pet Cemetery, that's how I imagined it, and that's exactly what it was like in the
yeah.
film. And
Well,
I watched the film with my mouth open because I thought this is how I pictured it.
love that movie.
No, I
Don't
do.
watch Pet Cemetery 2 or the remake. You'll be
No, it's crap.
heavily disappointed.
That's
Yeah,
crap.
crap.
Yeah.
Watch the original one, then
Yeah,
don't bother with the others.
yeah. Right.
Right, next
Yep.
one.
Yep. Oh,
There we go.
right, yeah.
Ideal way to spend Halloween.
Eating trick or treat candy.
that you've stole off children walking up
No,
the street?
no, I don't put the decorations out, then they don't come to the door. I get all the sweets.
Oh,
Perfect.
Yeah. For me, probably sombrero, lavender white fronts, green cowboy boots, cheesy peas, and a picture of Andy.
Nice.
What more could you want?
Nothing.
And
That's how
Exactly.
come
Your
on,
Halloween is complete.
Umbra and Andy.
Um,
It's got to be with Andy.
of course.
Romance, isn't it?
Yeah, bromance.
mine would just be. This is after what Umbra's just said. This is going to sound so wrong, but mine would just be like dressing up and walking about.
That's what I did on
With what
Halloween.
we're going to say,
I mean,
but
Me and my
make
mate once
of
went
that
out.
whatever you will.
Me
But
and
I
my mate
meant,
once went out in our capes, and I had like a hag mask on, white with all the horrible. It's upstairs somewhere. She had one of them like masks that make you look like you haven't got a face. And we
yeah,
wandered, and it was foggy.
plastic bag.
Yeah, it was foggy, and we were wandering about in the park and scaring random people like you do. And we sat
Yeah,
on a bench to have a cig, and this
like
bloke
you
walked past
do.
with his dog, and he didn't actually know if we were real or not.
Well,
Okay, I'm going to be really corny here and say my ideal Halloween is just what we're doing now with all
Yeah,
of the chatters and the guys on the panel.
yeah, I agree with that.
yeah,
Perfect.
it is good.
Perfect.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Ellie?
I think just basic sitting watching loads of horror films
Yeah,
or paranormal stuff with loads of Halloween sweets.
yeah, it's got to be Halloween sweets.
Yeah.
That's right. Just
Halloween
don't put anything
sweets.
outside that makes it look like you celebrate Halloween, and then you've got them all
Yeah.
to yourself.
Is it like
There you
Halloween
go.
sweets? Just bags of Haribo.
Yeah,
Anything you want, isn't it? It's anything you
Yeah.
want. But
That's all it is.
I don't get people knocking on the door because I have 6 dogs.
well, yeah, there is that.
But can I just say something about Halloween?
No,
Halloween is what. Oh, I'm going anyway. Halloween, you can technically go out, dress up as a murderer, and
yeah,
rob sweets off kids and get
Yeah,
away with it,
yeah.
and no one can do anything.
you can
Oh,
even
do that. I'm on a live stream Monday. I won't get a chance to do that.
you can murder.
I'm going trick or treating, so I'll try it.
Well done.
Yeah, but Deb, don't you do that the other 6 nights a week anyway?
What?
Just mugging kids.
Yeah, yeah. I don't do kids.
Go out and murder your
Yeah.
neighbours that make a
Oh,
lot of noise in a costume that everyone else is wearing and you won't get caught.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Right. Next question's from Kelly. Hello, Kelly.
Hello, stranger.
What do you think about reincarnation?
Believe.
Hmm.
Mm.
I'm in
I
two
mean,
minds about this.
I know.
Mm.
Been there, done that. I know.
been there, done that is literally reincarnation, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
See,
Good
I
point.
thought exactly the same.
he gets me. He knows.
Yeah, good point. That I
I
like it.
think I think it's not reincarnation as you come back as a fish finger or a flower or something like that.
Come back as
First
a
thing
fish
that comes to
finger.
my head. Don't worry about my mind.
Manchester reincarnation of all. You could have come back as anything. I came back as a fish finger. That's like a story from the Daily Star.
It was just the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, I don't think you come
Anyway,
back as food items, Andy. Much as you'd like.
hey, Captain Birdseye, only the finest fish. But I do think you do come back, like Deb was saying before. You have these seven. It's called the 7 lives.
Yep.
You get 7 chances to do what it is you need to do in the realm that we're in now. And once you've done that, then you move on to the next plane.
I could
I'm
tell you about
presuming if you're good at what you do, you could do it in free. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
get you out
it
right.
makes, but you know what I mean, though.
Yeah,
Mm.
It's like a golf scorecard. Oh, I did it in a birdie. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Hole in one.
something like that.
that.
Like get a hole in one.
Yeah.
You're on the gold hoverboard to astral,
Gold off a boat.
astral traveling.
There is truth in that. You may not believe me, but there is truth. Debs is 100,000,000% right. You get so many lives to come back, and all this shit you've done in your past lives, you get certain amount of lives. You've got to correct all that, which is why I'm getting so much shit now.
Yeah.
And after that, you can pass. You can either pass on, or you can become a guardian angel, spirit guide, whatever you want to call it.
You get options.
Yeah, you do.
You get multiple choice.
Yeah, but you've got to clear all your past misdemeanors, if you like. You know, all the past nasty things.
Everything you've asked up,
Yeah, you've got to
you've
clear
got to
all that.
sort it out before you can move on.
Yes, and Deb's 100% right on that one.
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah,
I
I agree
believe
with that.
that in more than the actual reincarnation type,
It's true.
what we believe. That makes sense.
It is
Yeah.
100% true. Andy, by the way, I won my Baileys.
Hey, that's good. That's
I
good.
won.
Right. Next question is from Blue. Evening, Blue.
Hi,
He
Blue.
would like to know, would you say you're naturally a positive or negative person? Me, I have to try to be positive.
That's a hard question.
Positive nowadays.
It's a good question.
It's a hard question.
Yeah.
I think whether I'm being negative or positive, I'm going to do it in a positive way.
Yeah.
So if I'm
Positive
going to
and
be an
negative.
arsehole, I'm going to be a proper arsehole. If I'm going to be nice to someone, I'm going to go all out and be nice to someone.
Yeah.
Positively negative, Andy.
Yeah. So, but I'm not a negative person anyway, I don't think. I don't think I ever have been. Yeah, you get times where you feel down and you can't be bothered to do stuff and you just really don't give a crap.
Yeah.
And then you have days where you think, no, life's good, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
So it depends on what's going on for you at that time. But
Yeah.
I think you should always try and remain positive, even if you're being negative at the time. I know it's
But it's really hard.
contradiction.
It's really hard in some aspects of life. There's so many assholes out there. There's so many assholes out there. Let's face it.
Yeah.
And all walks of life that you can't. You try to be positive, but I'm like, I want to rip your freaking head off because you've hurt a dog. You know.
Yeah.
Which is negative.
Mine's more, I want to rip your head off because you don't know how to drive, and I'm
Yeah,
stuck behind you for the next.
I
I'm
know
stuck
you're.
behind you for the next 20 odd miles.
I know.
Cheers for that. What did I ever do?
Me and Debs hear it a lot, don't we, Debs?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh. I might make another channel and call it Andy's Dash Cam.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Seriously. So many idiots.
Positive or negative?
Well, I think you should kind of not get too carried away in polarity. So I think when you have positive experiences, that's great, embrace that. But at the same time, I don't think that negativity is necessarily bad because you can still learn from that.
Yeah.
So, am I naturally a positive or negative person? I think that I am mostly a cynic. So that's generally an optimist who's sick of other people's nonsense.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd go with that.
So I am optimistic, generally speaking, but at the same time, I don't really tend to turn away from any negative emotion because that's part of humanity, which we are. You know,
Got to be a balance.
well,
Yeah, I was going to say you need to have a balance.
Don't you hate somebody that's always right?
Yeah.
Go on, Ellie. Positive or negative?
Yeah. I see. I don't think anyone's solely a positive or negative. I think there's like you get both, but again, it's the whole you try to be as positive as you can, but it depends on what the situation is, and yeah. So I don't think you can solely say, "Oh, yeah, I'm a positive person," but it just depends on the situations that you're in at the minute. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
right.
I'll say it depends what's going on.
Yeah,
Mm.
I agree.
Yep.
Right, next question is nickname. What would you like to see or experience in the strange phenomena? What would you be comfortable with? Ooh.
I want to be an Umbra's cult.
Yeah, let's all join Umbra's cult.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're modding it. What are you talking about?
I'm the number one bitch, trust me.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a cult for me, the chances are you'd only kick me out of it. So I don't know.
Would
Um,
overthrow you.
yeah, 100%.
Form a coup.
So, what would I like to see or experience? I think as much as possible, frankly. What would I be
Mm.
comfortable with? I really don't know because it's like, say, take for example, Joe with a dog man. You could experience it once from a distance and be comfortable with it, and then if you say you could repeat that, it could be an absolutely terrifying
Yeah,
experience. So it's
Yeah.
difficult to know what you're comfortable with until it happens.
yeah,
But as far as experience, for me, it's pretty much everything. Um, but universe, treat me as gently as you can, please.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I go with that as well.
won't treat you.
Umbra's talking for me tonight. It's great.
Yeah.
You can't go around being a cult leader and not occasionally speak for some people.
That's
Just
quite
don't
true.
make it my own cult.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Exactly.
cult. I'm your number one bitch. Don't forget
You
it.
can, yeah, okay.
See, I think I'd like to be abducted, but not probed, may
We'd
I
like
add.
you to be abducted as well.
Yeah, dickheads. Well, see, you
I
lot
love
make
that
me swear
probing.
and tell the truth. Don't like it.
And tell the truth, you want to be probed by Umbra. We know this.
No,
Want to
definitely
join the
not.
cult.
Wearing his sparkly
Have you
pants.
seen them hands? They're like shovels. No, but I would like to
Well,
be taken into a ship and
Oh,
not
well,
even experimented on, but just like because I have had dreams of being taken and going up in the ship and flying about and then coming back, and that's when I think I may or may not have been abducted. I don't know.
that leads on
I
to the
found
next
that sorry, I was just going to say I
question.
found that implant thing in my nose that then
Yeah.
had vanished the next morning. And there's definitely blood on my hands and on the pillow and everywhere because my hand was up to my elbow inside my face.
Smashing.
And you could, when you can smell blood, like when you get
Yeah.
a nose, but it was
Yeah.
that. And then the
Yeah.
next morning, nothing. It's like I'd had a shower, but I hadn't had a shower
Yeah.
because I
You've been
knew I'd
cleaned
gone
up.
back to sleep.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think that's something. Rick, looking for a brain cell. Still not found it yet. I think it fell out.
Yeah.
But Rick has spoke to me about it, about what's gone on, and I do take on what he said.
Yeah.
But I physically or mentally don't have any evidence of it at the moment, so I don't know. But
Mm.
I would, I would,
Andy,
yeah.
did when you woke up after this flying V saucer, did you think that all other saucer flyers were terrible drivers? Because if you did, then that means it probably did happen.
No, because I went up there, and
Went up
this is
there.
the weird. This is the weirdest thing. I don't even think I've ever spoke to anyone. So I went into this room. It was round, obviously.
Yeah.
It was what a light white or creamy coloured like seats and floor, but all kind of like it wasn't like a chair and a table. It was all seemed to blend into each other.
Right. Yeah.
So the chair blended into the floor, then into the table, then into the control panel, and the walls. There's a big like arch window, not arch window. What do you call
No idea.
big curved window?
Right.
You could see out. You could see all the stars, but the beings that I were talking to, I could hear them, but I couldn't see them. Didn't see any part of them. Not the head, not the hands, not the feet. And there's two or three of them.
Right.
And I had this dream a few times. Then I started having the dream where that guy kept popping up in it and was saying, "What you doing here? How can you see us? You're not supposed to be able to see us."
Yeah.
And then he'd chase after me.
That is weird.
And that was when I was living at that house in Milton Keynes, and then I had the observation of the ball bearing thing in the sky over them couple of days.
Yeah.
That was where I seen the pterodactyl, the shadow people, full body apparitions, are growling outside the window. Everything was going on. And then that was when I pulled that little piece of thing out my nose, and then it had gone the next morning.
Yeah.
So something has gone on other than the encounters that I had and the dreams that I had. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I can't say 100%. It was this. It was that. I can only tell you what I seen and how I felt at the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Has Ellie ever had any experiences like with UFO?
Not really. I've had one once. Again, I can't say if it's a UFO or what, but it could have just been a really weird coincidence. Either way, it terrified me. We were in the garden with my family, and it was late at night, and we were all just talking about whatever, and we ended up getting onto the topic of UFOs and stuff like that. As we're talking about it, one single flash of lightning, seeming like it was at the bottom of our garden, just happened. There was no thunder, there was nothing else after it. We all immediately picked up and went inside.
Yeah.
Again, don't know, it's probably just a weird coincidence or whatever, but either way, it was very,
That's wow.
the
Isn't it?
timing of it and stuff was weird. So we all just, we picked up and was like, let's go in the house.
Yes.
Umbra?
How was they?
That's the only thing that I've ever really had. I've seen like lights and stuff in the sky, but nothing major.
What about you, Umbra?
No, again, the only thing that I've really had is kind of like dream stuff. So I did have, again, a weird dream of being kind of floated on these stone slabs.
Yeah.
This was when I was very young, so probably at primary school.
Right.
And it was basically like the option of like stay and learn to kind of um, work with a higher consciousness of some sort,
Yeah.
or just get returned back to my bed and then like go back to my family. But as like a small child, I was like, well, I'm not leaving my family. And then I woke up. So I don't know if that was a thing or not, but it's one of those things that like Deborah was talking about where it felt incredibly real. But beyond that, nothing really. No.
Yeah.
Strange.
Very.
Yep.
Yes. Would any of you want to have regression?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so would
would.
I.
Yeah.
I'll sign you all up when I get re-registered on my course. I've got the
Well, I'm
course paid
first
for.
on your list.
Yeah. I've got quite a list going.
I'm second.
If I've been probed, that'll answer a lot of questions.
I don't really know if I want to sit through you telling me about being probed, to be fair.
No, Mike put in the chat, you've definitely been probed, Andy, something like that. I can't see it, it's gone.
Oh, yeah, I could do a live regression. Yeah, that'd be a good
Maybe
idea.
they did probe you, Andy, that was it. Right,
Yeah.
so we've got 6 questions. We're at 2 hours 7, so we are
Yeah.
going to have to jump through these.
Go on then.
So if we do one at a time, one question per person, and the last one for all of us. Yeah?
Right. Yeah.
Go for it.
So do the first one for Umbra, because it's got his name in it. Is Umbra doing the ritual tonight, and what is he planning doing on doing to Andy?
So yes, I am.
I
Just as
don't
soon
think
as
I want to know.
once I've got the pink sparkly pants sorted out, then yes. I cannot tell you what I'm doing to Andy because what happens in ritual stays in ritual. Needless to say, it costs a fortune, and we can never repeat this one.
Yes.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for the heads up, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right. We'll do this one to Joe. So this is from Nickname.
Okie dokie.
Oh, we've done this one.
Yeah, we have done that one.
Why has that come back up?
I don't know. I took it off.
Oh, right. It's all right. I'll clear that. Next one then. Ali. How goes all the dead replays are beings living unseen among us?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is.
I think it. Hmm.
Here's a difficult
See,
one.
It is.
because I've never really thought about it being other people because you just as soon as you hear the word ghost, you associate it with dead people. You
Yeah.
associate
See, I
spirits as
used to
people
think
that were
that.
once living. But now that's got me questioning, like, oh, actually, is it? Could it be other people? I think it could be a mixture, maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Can I
know.
just jump in on this one? Because I've got a little theory.
Mm,
No, shut up. I used to think ghosts were dead people and they was trying to scare you all the time. And then
mm,
I've like doing this and doing more of this and getting into it. And then about 12 months ago, it's like, what if they're not even ghosts? What if it's someone in a parallel dimension or two
mm,
time zones overlapping? You're seeing them, they're seeing you, or one's just seeing the other, and they're looking at you like, what the hell are you doing
mm,
here? And you're looking at them like the same thing.
Yeah.
And then the times go back to the normal, their own reality.
mm.
And it's like, whoa,
That's
did I
happened.
just see a ghost?
There
So
is
you're
a little
both
Mm.
story
wondering the
about
same
that, and
thing.
That's
I've got a
Yeah.
happened.
story about that, but we haven't really got time to go into it. But well, if we get another time, then I'll type it in a chat or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we'll have you back on
Yeah.
in a different disguise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one that's not as muffled.
Yeah.
One that doesn't sound like the normal gimp mask.
Well, Andy, you know the difference between how they both sound, so you know you have
Only
an
from
unfair
watching
advantage.
Pulp Fiction.
Well, never change that story.
Yes, that was quick thinking. That
He could get a Darth Vader one.
right.
That's
Next
fun.
question then. Oh, this isn't really a question,
In
is
your
it?
own time, then.
No, it's from Rick. Wormholes are theoretically possible. Einstein predicts them in general
Ooh.
rate.
Relativity.
Yeah, I couldn't say it then. It won't even come out.
I even managed that with my teeth in.
You did very well done.
Well done,
Okay.
that woman. You get a
Then
silver
she gets the
star.
star.
Hang
Yeah.
on, hang on.
I know she gets the star tonight.
Oh, yes.
It says best question on it, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. So is right. We'll do this to all of us because we can go over a few minutes. Is there anywhere the panel will never go back to? Does Manchester count?
Can I,
Hey.
can
I
I
s-
answer this?
yeah.
I'd never go back to my bloody wedding because it's the biggest mistake I ever done.
Yeah.
Um, there is one place I wouldn't go back and investigate. I think you guys could probably guess where that'd be. It wasn't our greatest investigation.
Argos.
Who? You remember that one, don't you, Ellie?
Yes, I
I
think I
don't
know
want
what
to
you're talking
name
about, and
anything because people might pick up on it, but you guys
yeah,
could
I
probably
agree.
work out. It was
Sainsbury's.
an indoor one.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of people there.
I know
Yeah.
which one that was. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a good one.
So, yeah, I wouldn't go. Not until it's been sorted. Once
Mm,
it's sorted and it's all ready for normal use, then maybe, but at the moment, no.
mm.
Umbra?
Probably only your UFO themed probing dungeon. I would not like to go back there again, not
I
even
had
for a
to
bit.
lure you in somehow.
But other than that, no. I would probably go back anywhere because even if the experience wasn't necessarily a pleasant one. Who's to say, second time round with a bit more information, you could learn something new.
Yeah.
Because like we've been back to different places and we've got a totally different feeling and encounters. So totally agree with you on that one, Deb.
I'd say Dane's Dyke at night on my own.
Oh,
Yeah,
No, actually, no. To be honest, I would do that again, so long as I knew somebody was in the vicinity, not necessarily with me. But I don't think there's anyone I won't go back to.
No, like Umbra said, you're going to get a different experience each time you go,
That's right.
regardless.
Yeah, unless it's
It
the portal
depends.
to hell.
It depends on the energy that's around as well. It could be a different type of energy when you get there the next time. So it's sorry, my back's aching. Sat in
Definitely
this chair for 3 hours. Oh,
3
right,
hours.
Joe. Anyway, you said right. So the last one,
Ellie now.
last question of the evening from Ricardo.
You missed
Would the
Ellie.
panel walk aboard you? Oh, you put this up before. If one landed in front of them and welcomed them aboard,
Yeah.
I'd have me cases packed and everything.
Yeah.
I'd
I'd
take
get
an
on.
overnight bag, put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I think
Why
for
would
me,
you not?
it depends on. Well, for me, I always go off gut instinct anyway, so it would
Yeah.
depend on the feeling I got. So possibly, but it's not a guarantee.
No. But if they were like you said, like the welcoming and everything felt legit, I'd be like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't. I would say anyone in the right mind, but anyone in the right mind probably wouldn't want to do it. Anyone out of the right mind would probably do it. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
99%.
yeah.
I
I
would.
would say
Yeah.
most of the time, almost certainly yes.
Yeah.
But it's not a foregone conclusion. But almost
No. It
certainly yes.
depends. You could get there. They could be like not like as normal as an ET would look. Or you could get there. They could be the Dragonas or black-eyed kids.
Yeah.
If it was the black-eyed kids at UFO and they're telling you to come in, I wouldn't then.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
no,
I
you're
wouldn't
all
get
right,
on
but
there.
No.
thanks for trying.
Ellie.
Yeah. So, Ellie,
There have been. Oh, sorry. Go on.
that's
Well,
right.
yeah, I would. But again, I think depending on what they like, if they looked absolutely terrifying and unfriendly, but if they're just like your standard greys or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, all right, see what it's about.
Yeah.
In Preston Dennett, one of Preston Dennett's books, when he's on about people that have been aboard UFOs, one of them was like a friendly, like a bit of a ride round.
Yeah.
They invited him on board and he asked all the stuff about what the panels on the thing did and how they moved and all this sort of thing. And they actually dropped him back off after they'd finished.
Didn't they show him the controls in that, Deb?
Yeah, they did, yeah. He asked how it all worked and everything, and they explained it all to him, and they were really pleasant. And I mean, I'm not saying they're all like that, but
Yeah.
I'd go if it was like that.
Well,
Yeah.
that dream I had about with the control panel where everything blended into each other,
Yeah,
they were showing me what the controls did, but I can't remember. I couldn't tell you.
yeah,
So that was very much that was quite detailed, that dream. That's why I think it might have been a little bit more than a dream,
yeah.
but I don't know.
Ask Jess to remote view it.
No, I've asked her to remote view
Yeah, I
once,
want
and
to.
she's not got around to it yet.
Yeah, I want to get Jess back on anyway, so
Yeah,
that'd be a
definitely.
good one. Right, I think. Are we done?
I think we might be.
We might be,
are.
yeah.
We might be done.
So massive thank you to Umbra,
Yeah.
Joe, and Ellie coming on tonight. Thank you to Nickname for taking over the modding.
Yes, thank
Thank you to
you
Deborah for making an effort.
for a change.
Sticky
I'm
bugger.
managing to talk in
No,
my teeth.
no, in fact, everyone, it's been amazing tonight. Thanks to other Deb for coming on. I know she couldn't
Yeah.
stay too long, but it's just
She'll be in bath now.
thanks to my missus for coming on because
Yes, thank
she
you.
swore blind. She
Thank
was
you,
never
Ellie.
ever coming on air. Then Joe reminded me today that Becky had said if Umbra comes on, she'll come on. I completely forgot about it.
There you go.
So she couldn't
Thank you
back
to
out even
Umbra
if she
coming on
wanted
as
to.
well.
So anyway, before we go,
I have no idea.
I didn't know how much swearing I could get in that short amount of time, actually. Next,
like I'm going to warn you.
I know, I keep forgetting. Next week, we've got Earl Grey and Paul
Next
Heine.
week,
All together.
week.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, but before that, you're on Monday
but
with me.
yes. So on Monday, I'm joining
Me and Chris.
Steve on Essex and Dee Singleton on Chris's show on Monday evening. No idea what we're going to be talking about. I'll probably still look like this because it won't wash off. I reckon I've used Sharpies and not Poundland makeup.
Can't beat Poundland makeup.
Yeah. Who's on next Friday, Deb?
Oh, for crying out loud. Let me think about that. It was me and you.
Yes. I think we might do a bit of a phone in.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'll be better than the last one, because there's only Umbra that messaged.
Yeah.
Hey, I did. You just didn't read it out.
There was a
No,
couple of
because
messages.
you sent it on Messenger.
I did, sorry.
Yeah. Can you send our messages on WhatsApp? Yeah, I'll do it on Messenger.
I'm not on WhatsApp. Yeah, I'll have
Wow.
to
Can't get the staff.
do it.
So hopefully, as well, so we, for those that don't know, we've hit over the 1,000 mark on TikTok, which I think for 3 months of active use of TikTok is pretty good going.
Absolutely amazing.
We've gone over the 650 mark on YouTube. I've actually worked out where it was. I'm either shadow banned, which is most probably likely, or one of the main reasons that have changed the name on the YouTube channel is because they don't like hyphenated words or gaps or anything like that. So when it was COTU space dash space, that makes it so much more difficult for the algorithm, the analytics, and search.
Yeah.
So it's the 12th dimension, and the new link to YouTube is going to be all in lowercase and all in letters, the 12th dimension, at the 12th dimension. So it's going to be a direct link to the channel. Couldn't use the numbers 1, 2 because someone's already got it. So I've got everything else, so that should be up and running about this time next week. Once it is, I'm going to share the hell out of it on my Facebook profile. So once that kicks in, it should make it so much more easier for people to find us.
Yeah.
And with the TikTok live investigations, because it's better, or it's not better, but you've got to film in portrait mode, they're going to be uploaded onto my Facebook account just because of the ratio aspect of it. Because watching that on YouTube is absolutely awful. You've got to do it in landscape, and it's a pain in the ass trying to.
It is for Deb.
Because you still get the gaps either side, and it just doesn't look good. It looks terrible. So it'll be TikTok, then Facebook.
Yes.
But we will be doing some on YouTube in the new year. And I'm going to be doing a lot of filming using the night vision binoculars as well.
Yes.
So I just needed to get a lot of stuff out of the way, like with the changing of the name, the filming last week, this now. There's no biggie as such until Christmas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a bit easier from here on. So,
can we go now, please? Because I need to go lick my bottom.
You normally do it on camera?
No, we'll go off camera.
All right.
I have mouses to catch.
Have you not got a fox to be friend?
I'm going to go pee up a tree outside and let him know I'm about.
Yeah. I just want to go and eat the neighbours.
Yeah. Oh my God. Right. So thank you, everyone, so much for coming on tonight. Everyone in the chat, all the newbies.
Yeah.
I've not been able to type because I really cannot see. It's just blurred vision.
It's
I
not
bet
right.
Umbra
is
can
it?
see better than I can.
Andy,
I can't see anything.
Andy, before you go, give them a close up of your eyes because they keep saying they're black. I said they're red.
Right. 1 sec.
Ooh,
got-
Have
my
fun
eyes are
taking them out, by the way.
See?
No.
Yeah,
No.
hold on.
I can't even look. No.
I think mine have gone
Can't do
wrong.
eyes. Cannot do eyes.
They're not fun to take out, by the way.
They weren't
No.
fun putting in.
No.
Oh, no, they're hard to put in, hard to take out. Never again.
But yeah, so anyone, I know because a few of you, just quickly, I know a few of you in the chat are not on Facebook, but a lot of the updates are going to be going onto my Facebook profile.
Yeah.
And it's public, so anyone has access to it. And she was never seen again.
Yeah. Just on to eat the neighbours.
It's cupboard dog, Andy.
Oh, hello, cupboard dog.
My cupboard dog.
Superb.
Right, so on that note, we will see you on hopefully Monday on Eric Van Essex.
Yes.
You guys don't go anywhere straight away. And
No,
then
stay where you
we'll
are.
see you Wednesday for the amazing Paul Hynek and Earl Grey.
Yeah.
So have a great
Have fun. Have a great Halloween.
Halloween weekend.
Night all.
And when I can find it, I'll play the outro.
Well played.
Well, no, because I've not even got it set up ready or anything.
Right, I know who's first on my list.
For what?
Hunting down and peeing up your leg.
Why? Oh, wait. I can't.
Oh, God.
Right. Oh, here we go.
In your
It's
own
all right.
time.
Don't. Nothing. I opened the folder and nothing was in it. It was just empty. Right.
Oh, dear.
See you Monday. If not, see you Wednesday. If not, see you
See you Friday.
Friday. No. Hey. Night, everyone. See
Bye,
you soon.
everybody. In your own time.